Finish him.
And here we go. Here comes the. Come on, we gotta do the reactions though. We gotta do the.
Man, I wasn't expecting that.
I'm doing an underdog reaction. Oh.
This is the underdog reaction. No, that's the underdog reaction right there. 3, 2, 1. It is time. Okay, that's the intro, because that's essentially the new way of saying it has begun. But you know, because that's what Liu Kang says in the trailer. That's the Gen Z way of saying it has begun nowadays. But
it's in our blood.
Again.
Oh, that is a slogan too. There's a lot of slogans, honestly. There's like,
it's in our blood.
Like, don't take serenity as weakness or something. I forgot one of those things. Anyways, yo, what's poppin', kids? Welcome to the Combat Kings. We're your hosts, SonicHaXD, True Underdog, and the Forest Snake. And today, we have not just some big-ass news about Mortal Kombat 1, but exclusive, I repeat, exclusive news about Mortal Kombat 1 on this podcast. That's right. You gotta be excited. You gotta be really, really hyped up today. We're gonna be chatting about like a ton of stuff because they revealed a ton of stuff, and we're gonna be talking about things that they did not reveal, but we know about because we are in the know, baby. How are you guys feeling about this? Are you guys excited? Are you guys ready to get pumped up about this?
Well, I'd just like to say that it's funny how you were like, oh yeah, that feels old because I referenced Keemstar, and then you opened the episode by saying, what's poppin'? Like you were, I'm J Station.
Just so you know, that intro isn't even going to be... I don't think I'm going to include the
Keemstar
part.
It will. It has to be now. I've made it canon. It has to be in there.
I guess we should just get right into it. Everybody ready? Everybody recording?
Let's get right into the news.
That feels old. That feels old.
Still going though. So.
I mean, yeah, the guy. Yeah, he is still going. I'm just saying, like that feels. You made it canon now. You made it a cameo. Oh.
Oh, he did make a cameo appearance. Sonic, if we break into your house, are we gonna find Kermit dolls torn open with stuff shoved inside them because you were trying to make him pregnant?
I'm a capture of SonicHaXD. He's got me in his slave dungeon. I edit the videos. And he takes credit.
I don't think Sonic gets the J Station reference.
No, I don't. Not really.
Okay.
You don't know the gay potion story?
Yeah, we can talk about this another day because we're gonna have to do something very important today. You see, we are notoriously known for going off tangents all the time with just any way or any possible thing, but we're gonna try our best to stick to the MK news today because there is actually so much that we could talk about. So with that being said, we're not going to be talking, because there's actually other things that happened recently and we're not going to be talking about them. We're not going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. We're not going to talk about Spider-Verse. We're not going to talk about the Mario movie. We're not going to talk about Street Fighter 6. We're not going to talk about Combo Breaker. We're probably not even going to talk about the Summer Game Fest. We're not going to talk about True Underdog went on a vacation recently. We're not going to talk about that. And then the Forest Snake. Oh yeah, how are you feeling, Forest Snake? I remember you were actually you were ill a couple of weeks ago.
Well, it's still impacting.
We're not going to talk about that because we don't have time.
Trick question. He fell for it. What a dummy! Right into it. Oh my god.
Topic. I hope you are doing a bit better now, Snake. After not the not like this. There's an orange tip, YouTube. There's an orange tip. But yeah, actually, I will mention this though. If you guys haven't noticed, last week's episode where we covered the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer is probably the most successful podcast episode we had on this channel. It had quadruple the views compared to last time. We were on pace to get over Triple KO, the other biggest fighting game podcast. I mean, quadruple the views below that, but still we were very close actually. So we really appreciate it, and we're very happy you guys love the Mortal Kombat topic that we are going with. And with that out of the way, how should we get started with this? Snake suggested we watch the trailer again. What do you guys think about that?
Just so we can get some stuff fresh in our minds.
It's fresh in my heart, Snake. I never forgot the feelings and happiness. Plus, I watched 10 people react to it, so it's pretty burned into my skull.
I don't watch that kind of content because reaction content's cringe.
Not avoid the puddle. Eris is funny. He called it Moron Combat in the first 10 seconds, and then like halfway through it won him over. And he's like, I think it looks cool. He likes Striker the most. Yeah, he's like, Striker jump scare?
And you did your reaction recently too, Snake. Hypocrite much? Despite it being obviously satire?
I've seen people try to use the soy expression thumbnail against me. It's like, it was satire, you fucking mong.
It's very pathetic.
It's so clearly satire.
You know, the fun fact about this trailer, I think, is that they actually cut out the first like 3 seconds of the trailer in the Summer Game Fest, if you noticed, because it wasn't like this trailer starts and menacing Sub-Zero looking on the rooftop. No, this trailer starts, whoa, Sub-Zero jumps down.
Yeah, he just gave it right away.
First 3 seconds off.
Yeah, I did notice that actually on some level, because I was looking at the trailers like, I don't remember it being this long set up before the everything kicks off.
Yeah, when I was watching the Summer Game Fest, I was like, oh, we're getting right into it, huh? I didn't expect the trailer to start like that, but yeah. Anyways, let's get right into the Mortal Kombat 1 official gameplay reveal trailer. Are we all everyone ready to play it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And 3, 2, click! Okay, I clicked onto it. What'd you been call it?
Warner Bros. Another round.
I guess I'll commentary around it too to see what else we can find that's new. I feel like there's always a lot of new things that can come out here.
Here's Sub-Zero. I'll be discussing the voice acting later, because I've noticed some stuff.
Who is the guy next to Kung Lao?
Raiden, isn't it?
Is that Raiden?
I would imagine so.
He's over here too. He's stuck on the table. You'll see right here. See, like, his ice is like, yeah, right there. You see him again.
That's a different guy, though. Raiden got tackled down the stairs. Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
I think, or someone did.
Right here, you will see the exclusive information that I have saved for like the past 2 days.
Oh,
right
the posters.
Not the poster you think, but we will mention that too.
You mean the Suhao, the 2 Kanos, and the Scorpion Sub-Zero?
It's actually not that one, but we can talk about that.
Stop trying to spoil it, Snake. So, it's his reveal.
Are we gonna get this Liu Kang skin, the hooded Liu Kang skin? I'm very curious about that.
It's very possible. We've got like all the casual skins already.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, Frost never got her hooded skin, so.
True.
With mods, she did.
Mods.
It's worth noting that I was correct in the assertion that Liu Kang has this like unified fighting force.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that we predicted correctly. It was really fun to see them actually come to fruition.
Scorpion is Lin Kuei. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
You get a better look at the
I am very shocked that Kenshi and Johnny were not in the official reveal trailer, and here they are now, front and center. That was Kenshi was quite shocking because not too shocking, but I was like, oh cool, Kenshi's in this game.
You mean Cole Young, right? That's Cole Young.
It does look a lot like him. It's weird. I got over 1,000 likes for pointing that out. It was a weird banger tweet.
Good job.
You didn't just got likes for that. People got scared of that tweet. People were like, holy shit, is that actually Cole Young?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. People were really scared about that.
I'm so dumb because I didn't expect any new characters, so I thought it was Scorpion invading Johnny Cage's house, which I feel very dumb. For a split second, I thought that. Then you see the gameplay, and you're like, oh, Kenshi, because like the spirit sword and all that.
And that's one thing that's like, when I first saw this trailer, it's really hard to tell. Like, I couldn't tell that was Kenshi at first, too. I'm like, I wonder who this new character is. Sword. Oh, Kenshi. So it's kind of hard to tell with your outfits and stuff like that currently.
I do like the way Kenshi's carrying the sword in his hand, like Virgil in Devil May Cry, because it feels like an MK11 kind of thing where there's more of an emphasis on weapons, so he's just got it on hand to use all the time.
Nice. That is good.
It's pretty cool. And of course, this is the biggest, I think, change to the MK lore right here. Like, Mileena is like Kitana's like actual sister, not a clone. Yeah. She's getting like a disease and
and going off some of the pre-fight intro, it seems that Mileena is actually in charge of a realm, and Kitana serves her apparently.
Yeah. Kitana is like her bodyguard. Kitana is the Jade this time, basically. Oh, Striker! Oh my gosh! And here's the awesome Kung Lao costume.
This seems to be Outworld.
But that stage that we only get to see for like 1 second looks gorgeous. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like Red Lantern Festival like going on. I'm like, this is such a pretty looking stage. And here we go. Here comes the. We gotta do the reactions though. We gotta do the.
I did an underdog reaction.
I do that, don't I?
This is the underdog reaction. No! That's the underdog reaction right there.
I watch Max.
I like that expression he has when he's pulling his head off, though. I do like that. I'm excited to see every character have that expression, basically. The
expressions are really freaking good. Yeah.
It's in the blood.
That's their new technology they're showing off for sure.
It's interesting how classic Sub-Zero is the MK11 one, with one of the existing alternate colours, the darker blue with the white.
Oh no.
I'm also tired of MK1 Kano being bald. He wasn't bald, guys. That was a lie MKX came up with. If you want the true MK1 retro Kano, you go to Deadly Alliance because he had it there, and he actually had like the hair and everything. That's more true to life. Literally true to life, because that's what a real man looked like when he played Kano. So So there's a lot we see in this trailer, I would say.
Bald propaganda.
There's a lot, and there's a lot of like additional information just based off of like what happened in the past 2 days, basically. Like, we were getting flung a bunch. We were in theory crafting territory with the first trailer, but this one we've got actual news we can talk about. How do we start? What should we start with, basically?
Maybe we could go through the trailer bit by bit and just say, here's, because right off from the bat we see Sub-Zero. It's confirmed that this is Bihan through pre-fight intros that Liu Kang calls him Bihan.
Love that. I love that we're actually getting a Bihan focused like story, because Bihan has always just been, in the main game at least, pushed to the sidelines, but like sometimes in the series he gets some love. Like I think 2021 he has his villain arc in that movie, but this one he's like a mainstay in like the group and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what they do. I'm
glad you bring up the movie, because the mask is very similar to what he has in that movie, which now we know is an intentional decision because it's Bihan.
That is actually. Another thing is also he doesn't have a scar. Quite like every depiction just always has that like scar. Well, did he have that in MK9?
I mean, sure, but this is clearly like this is chapter 1 or 2. Like clearly the story's either going to open with Kung Lao and Raiden being ambushed here, and Liu Kang walks in and is like, enough, we're gonna let me explain all this stuff, or it's going to be that we'll start with the great Kung Lao stuff, then after he dies, we'll flash forward.
We'll see how that turns out. We did try to predict that, but don't know if that's even going to happen though, because like
but that's how NetherRealm has always done things. Chapter 1 is resolving the stuff from last time, and then we move on to something new. So there's a pretty good
completely.
Yeah,
that's an important step.
There's a pretty good chance that they'll approach it this way. Although it's worth noting, so Sub-Zero's been recast. It's now Keiji Tang. I can tell you it's him. He's the voice of Ichiban Kasuga from Yakuza, Jan Lee in Dead or Alive. He has an extensive record. He's a decent fit.
He's pretty decent, yeah.
Liu Kang, Kitana, Mileena, and Kung Lao are the same for MK11, which is interesting because that means that technically this could be the great Kung Lao still the champion, because he had the same voice actor as the normal Kung Lao. I'm sure it's not just because his style is so clearly the modern Kung Lao.
We know and love.
The outfit is a mashup of his MKX look and his Shaolin Monk's look, like, so it's clearly him. But it is a funny thing to think about. Raiden's recast. Johnny's the same. Kenshi, I'm not quite sure. It sounds similar, but I'm not as familiar with how Kenshi sounds as the other characters, because he doesn't have much dialogue, because they gave him very little to work with in MKX.
I could tell that Kitana was the same, because Mileena was a dead giveaway. It's Mileena, and that's Kitana, then same voice actress, because she does both.
And it sucks,
because I heard news saying that Kitana was like a different voice actress, but I listened that's still her, basically.
Trust me, Kari Waldron's my favourite voice actress. I know when it's her. And that's why it's hard. That's why it breaks my heart to say I can't believe they stuck with that awful version of Mileena they went with, because it was one thing in MK11 where she's not part of the story, but now she is part of the story, and clearly Kitana's entire story is going to be about her relationship with Mileena breaking apart. So clearly that's where all the emotion's going to be. And Mileena's talking like this, and it's like I can't.
You secretly usurp my throne.
I think it's because she's going to start off sounding normal, and like in the cutscenes or whenever she's changing, her voice is going to alter and get worse and worse as it goes on.
I'm sure that will be the case, but it doesn't need to go this far.
I think the thing that makes it worse and why
it could always go worse, Snake. By the end, she's just going to be mumbling random sounds. She's
going to turn to full Tarkania.
My sister.
She's going to turn to Reptile with that voice. The worst thing is because the past two Mileena voice actors are like fantastic. MKX, MK9, or like they're great. And also, did the voice of Kitana voice the same as Mileena and MK? I know the voice actors of Kitana and Mileena are the same in MK9. Are they the same in MKX too?
Yeah, in 9 and X, in both cases, it was Karen Strassman playing both. But then Kari Waldron took over for 11, and so she's reprising the role here.
Yeah, she's great in 9 and X. In 9, she's like this playful and cheery, weird little girl. And then in X, she kind of has a bit more of a serious tone. But she never sounded monstrous like this, because I have the teeth. I gotta sound like this now.
There was definitely there was an element of it, I would say, in MKX. Like, she does sound like a bit of a monster, but it's not as like extreme as this, which is like carry over from MK11, where we all know how Noob Saibot sounded, and thank God they didn't. I mean, it's a shame, I suppose, that Sean Shiplock didn't get another shot to play Bihan, just with a more normal voice, because I'm sure he could do it something decent with it. But unfortunately, no. But I would take a recast over him talking like Dr. Claw again.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Okay, so what else was I thinking? We were talking about Sub-Zero, and then I guess he gets... Oh, there was someone mentioned like maybe minor spoilers for like the synopsis of the plot. Spoilers I heard is that like Liu Kang, this is from the aftermath, like reset a time like Liu Kang, of course, other. However, in resetting this timeline and making the new universe, something bad happened, and that's why he's trying to correct it right now. I heard that's one of the synopses that I've heard about like the beginning of the story. So I could see where things go from there.
I mean, that could be what the whole Shang Tsung thing is.
Yes. For those who don't know, in the intro dialogue, Shang Tsung is name dropped once at least. I don't know, but I heard him once at least.
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung. Yeah, thoughts about Kung Lao, because we get to see a little bit of him throwing his cute little straw hat. I think that's kind of funny.
You gotta laugh out of me. I laughed when I saw it. I like that he's like a return to martial arts character, and his cameo has the traditional Kung Lao fighting style, but it looks like he will be more like the great Kung Lao with how he fights. Am I still glitching?
No,
you're good. Okay. You're good. We don't really see the great Kung Lao fight though, so I don't really know if there's good comparisons.
We know he probably is a little fisticuffs guy, I'm guessing.
I guess so. but I mean, I still see Kung Lao with his classes like and the dive kicks and stuff like that. Those are Kung Lao things.
That's what I mean.
One thing
That's the great Kung Lao. He dive kicking Goro in the face.
Yeah. One thing I do like about the well, they did a little bit of this in MK11, but I think they're doing a lot more in this one is characters not reaching their full potential yet, so they are still limited to some of their abilities. Like we see Kung Lao here without the hat. So he's not going to use that when he's fighting like Scorpion. We see Kenshi not blinded. We see... That's what I can really notice for currently. They did a little bit of that in Sonya's chapter in MK11 where she doesn't have the gauntlets to use the laser attacks. Yeah. So I think that's cool. I think we're not seeing characters using their abilities fully and still learning is like a cool thing to see in the story mode, basically.
I don't think Kung Lao's ever going to grab his hat. I think he's going to just never use it.
Well, in the game, he already uses it. Like, there's a part in the trailer he literally just...
The cameo does, not the regular Kung Lao.
No. Like, No? I remember there was a scene like, later on. He literally...
He throws that sharp one, which is like a reference to Kung Jin, because Kung Jin had the little disc that he threw. But I don't think the regular Kung Lao ever uses a hat.
I mean, he will. Like this, it's one of the things that I feel people need to keep in mind is while this is a new era and they're changing up a lot of stuff... when I see people being like, "Oh, maybe Kuai Liang is Scorpion this time, and Hanzo doesn't exist," or maybe Hanzo is Bihan's brother and Kuai Liang doesn't exist, I'm like,
they're brothers. So many people love that theory.
It's like,
well, they said it. Like Ed Boon straight up said they're brothers in the post part.
I'm sure
which
it'd be
was
like
wild.
foster brothers or blood brothers. I'm sure it would be like literal like.
Cool.
That's what I thought too, but he said it's so matter of factly. He went, a lot of things are different this time around. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are brothers.
But
that's one of our exciting changes.
Ed Boon also said that MK1 is not a continuation of MK11's story when it very clearly is. So sometimes he just misspeaks or said things in a weird way, or maybe he's just trolling.
Wrong,
Like he could just be lying to us. Like remember, he was like, "Oh, one of these guys are going to make it," and it's like the MK4 select screen. It's like, well, I guess one technically did. It was Johnny Cage. But that's not what people thought when you post MK4, Ed. And you know that's true.
I'm assuming that'll come back. Because he did say in an interview being like, the cameo characters, we're going to bring back some very old, weird characters that probably none of you even remember kind of thing. And we'll be like, oh, we remember. We know them. Bring it back. So I think that'd be kind of fun to see.
we're too professional. There's not a single character that we don't remember. Although I will say,
the
you guys, Ed Boon.
Snake would have some that we really don't know about, I would assume.
Listen, Ed Boon made Scorpion and Sub-Zero brothers for the sole reason of stopping the shippers. That's why. I was trying to get that out. Because now it's incest and you can't ship them anymore because it's incest.
We can't go through this again. I listened to the whole 8-hour Realmcast podcast and I've heard this whole conversation went through. We cannot do this again. And I've also heard the part where it says it makes it more arousing for some people. Let's not do this again. Let's not do this again. That was an awesome live stream, by the way. I watched the whole thing.
We can't. We're brothers.
Well, technically... technically no. In another timeline.
I do like how Sub-Zero's got the frozen arms back, like he had in the 3D era. It's let down.
When he uses his abilities,
it's let down a little by being under his gauntlets, but I suppose if it's not like a constant thing that's always on, it makes sense to do it that way.
Yeah, it's on and off. Yeah,
it's certainly an improvement of what they had in MKX, whereas it looks like he just has like blue lights under his skin, and it looked terrible. I don't know what it was about MKX, where like almost every single visual signifier of what variation a character is was terrible. I don't know why it was like that.
All of them?
Most of them were.
Listen, Snake, Sub-Zero had to be ready for a rave at a moment's notice, so he's always neon with the arms. So he's like... He was ready at any point.
Shoot. Who's the skin in MK11 that like got is a guest for like a skin, the music guy?
Sub-Zero. Yeah, the Dimitri Vegas skin.
Yeah, so basically he's preparing for the Dimitri Vegas skin, maybe, preparing for that.
Sub-Zero's always ready to party 24/7. That's what I'm saying.
He's like, he got tired of people saying he's a ninja, so he was like, I'm wearing bright neon, I'm clearly not a ninja. And people are like, yeah, well, I watched Naruto, I know what ninjas are, they can wear bright orange if they want to. And he's like, fuck, he's right.
Speaking of Bihan, though, because watching these trailers, I get the vibe from Scorpion and Sub-Zero are just kind of like little henchmen for like Liu Kang, be like, come, and you see Scorpion be like, yes, master, and just they have no lines in the trailer whatsoever.
He does bow to Liu Kang when he shows up at Johnny's apartment or home. Like, that does happen. So,
but what I'm saying is, if you listen to the intro dialogues, they kind of make Bihan seem a lot more menacing and more like threatening in a way. He has lines that are like, what is called, the Lin Kuei will rule, or like freeze the world. I forgot what he says necessarily.
Better
but it's
to
like,
serve ourselves.
Like, they're clearly setting him up.
Yeah.
So I was saying, okay, so like, what's going to be the circumstance behind the two Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting in the story? And people are like, oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on the same side. It's like, clearly, it's going to be, oh no, Bihan, I can't believe you're a bad guy. You betray me, brother. We will fight now. In like the penultimate chapter, and they'll have the big dumb fight, and then Scorpion will kill Bihan, and he'll become Noob Saibot in the next game, and then Quiet the Angle will show up at the end, and Scorpion will be like, oh, it's a brand new storyline, I'm gonna protect you to make up for killing your brother, and it's like, oh yeah, I've never seen that before. Brand new.
I do wonder if where Quiet the Angle is in all of this right now.
Here's my crazy prediction of what's gonna happen, alright? What Snake said, except what if Bihan wins and kills Hanzo? That's why he comes back as Undead Scorpion, and then he splits off and forms the Shirai Ryu because he's so bitter at being betrayed and killed.
In the Nether Realm. He's going to form it in the Nether Realm just to be more
he's going to come back. No. That'd be pretty cool, though. Comes out of hell with the squad.
That's not even unlikely. That's a pretty decent chance that'll happen.
It'd be a nice role reversal.
Take your bets, guys.
I mean, Scorpion's already got his fire powers, but at this point we don't even know if Netherrealm considers those to be undead powers or just something he already had. Or it could have been something Liu Kang gave him. It could be something Liu Kang gave him. He's like, hey, you can have fire powers while you're alive.
Snake, when you said, like, wonder if that's just thing the Netherrealm gave them and they don't even know, I was thinking, like, oh, the company, right? I thought it was like the hell Netherrealm is like, what, does that count or not? I don't know.
But this reminds me, I had this guy arguing with me on Twitter because I said clearly the game is a continuation of the prior entries. It clearly is, and someone was like saying, no, it's not. If it's a continuation, then like why does Liu Kang not have lightning powers anymore? And I'm like, because you gave them back to Raiden.
I actually tried to notice that.
Mortal Raiden didn't have those powers, and Liu Kang doesn't have lightning anymore, he just has the fire, because he gave the powers back to Raiden, because Raiden gave them to him in the first place, but Raiden needs to have power. He is
called the God of Fire now, instead of the God of Thunder and Fire, yeah.
mean, he's always referred to as Fire God, so, but yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
He just happened to have lightning to make it really cool and to make it like unique in gameplay for story mode. That like, oh, I have lightning powers too on top of the fire powers.
Oh, do you see that? You see that there was an artist who drew Mileena like full body like before this stuff came out, just based on the original. They're just like, oh, I'll just make up some bottoms. I'll make up some bottoms, and it was like basically 100% right,
completely right.
And it's like, I'm like, did you inherit Raiden's amulet? What?
She just took the few shots of like the back of Mileena when she steps out of the convoy and just raised the brightness as high as possible to see how it looks, and use that to infer.
Enhance 4K, 8K. Come on, enhance.
It's not quite as fun as there's a one artist I saw who drew Kitana, was basically like when you want to draw your
character actually.
You want to draw your character, but you don't know what the full outfit's like. So it's like, here's Kitana's upper body as it is in 11, and the lower body's just pajama pants and slippers because they don't know what the bottoms are.
I saw that. That was awesome. And she's got like laundry day going on, and she's like, and her little cup says "#1 princess," and Melina's laughing off camera. Like, it's just a little cute image. I love it a lot.
Her clothes are in the wash. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
It's like the duality of like Kitana, Mileena, Sindel, Jade, Stans, where some of these people are crazy, and they'll say like, one frame of Kitana, yas queen, like they just like screech on Twitter.
Kitana, mother, Mileena, mother.
And then you have people like this who are just like, I'm going to predict Melina's entire costume. I'm going to draw Kitana in comfy pajama pants, and it's like the best thing ever. It's like there is a. Like I said, the duality of these characters' fans, it's insane.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great thing and a threatening thing at most, and sometimes. I want to get into the character designs, I guess, after the trailer, but let's just keep going and see what we got here. I know next up, basically, Kung Lao fights Sub-Zero, and then Liu Kang shows up and is like, "You have proven worthy to join me." Yeah. And then we get to the Johnny and
he didn't quite say it like that.
Of course, yeah.
But you can get a better look at Scorpion now. That is a Lin Kuei badge on his chest, and the mask is very very MK11 inspired, as is his color scheme. They are
straight up. The Lin Kuei are probably our organization working for. Well, I was gonna say they're working for Liu Kang, but then there's like those intro dialogues where it's like the Lin Kuei serve ourselves and stuff like that. So maybe there's a chapter we're missing as to why Liu Kang recruited Sub-Zero.
Sometimes the dialogue explains later story chapters, which is why I try to avoid all that stuff and just play story mode first, because there's some dead giveaways sometimes.
I noticed we saw that with Sindel, where it's like her entire story was in the intros, and then Aftermath is like, oh, here's the plot twist, and it's like, but we knew this like 6 months ago.
In the arcade endings and stuff like that, they straight up spoiled in the MK11, like, oh, check out these awesome intro dialogues, and Cassie's like to like Eve the Dark Raiden, "You killed my mother." What the okay, jeez. That's like huge. What?
Dude, I'm waiting for that to happen in one of the trailers too, man. I'm waiting for that. Like in one of the playtest sessions, I'm waiting for there to be a line of Kitana or Mileena fighting Sub-Zero and being like, "I can't believe you killed him. He was your brother." And we can just imply like who it was. Or like, "How could you do that to Hanzo?" And it's like, "He went against the clan," or something like that. You know, I can just see it being dropped.
The current intros that we've got aren't too bad, in my opinion. They're just like little lore backstory shenanigans.
I'm sure they were tailor made for that. I mean, it's worth noting that Scorpion.
I think they learned. Yeah.
Scorpion is not playable in this build. I feel like there's a reason for that.
That would be kind of funny.
Because Sub-Zero's cooler.
Obviously. And also a pun there. The one thing I do like about because next up we get to see Johnny and Kenshi. If you look at the intro dialogues, Kenshi probably is a Yakuza in this era.
People are mentioning that from his design alone. Yeah,
he does seem to have it's either like a weird gross gauntlet or that's like just tattoos and it's hard to tell. But you look at his hand, it's
tattoos.
It does look like he's tatted up. So it's an interesting direction to take the character. I mean,
sure.
I'd rather that than him be just another SF character, because we kind of got too many of those. So it's good to see something like this, and it's also cool just that Kenshi has another sword. So I'm hoping that there'll be some point where he can bust out this and Sento and just like go to town.
He goes like full cool. Yoshimitsu and just walks on the 2 swords, like with Yoshimitsu's 4-2+4. Don't know if you'll know what that is. Oh well.
That's probably one of the reasons why this trailer is so fun, because none of the special forces characters are main characters in this trailer. They're just cameos. Yeah.
Can I say one thing I want to go off about that was kind of cool? So Johnny Cage has Sento on his wall, and just a complete tinfoil hat theory, nothing to go off of. But the fact that he's not just giving it away immediately, I don't think he won this at an auction or something. And it would be really cool if they have a reference to Bloodsport, and he's like, I won that in an overseas Bloodsport tournament. Like, I'm not just going to give it up. Like, that's my trophy for winning a fighting tournament or something. And I also love that Johnny Cage in this story is ready to fight. He's not being goofy and like, whoa, why are you fighting? We're not on set right now. Nobody said action. He's the one going, hey, I'm not giving it up without a fight. Because I always said that Johnny Cage should be more abrasive because he's inspired by Jean-Claude Van Damme and shit. So I like that he's like, I'm ready to fucking fight, bitch.
To be fair, though, Kenshi broke into his house. I would be pretty angry and I would want to like fight that guy. His mansion.
You weren't at the party last night.
I love the stage. I want these kind of stages in this type of games. It's looks so fun, just fighting in this beautiful mansion.
I have a lot to say about all this. Like, one, it'd be funny it'd be funny if the reason Johnny is like this, like if he did reference, oh, I won it in this tournament, or whatever, and it's like that's just because they want Jean-Claude Van Damme to say the exact line in his skin. Which it's surprising they've not shown it off yet, but I guess we'll have to wait for that.
They're teasing a lot. They're keeping their cards hidden. Like, oh, next week, woo! Next week, woo! They're really like saving a bunch of stuff for us.
One thing that is a bit of a shame is I imagine there's not going to be a sword fight where Johnny pulls Sento off the wall and fights with it, because gameplay reasons you can't do that. I mean, it could be in the cutscenes, but probably not. Yeah. I mean, we've not seen.
Also, Kenshi probably just grab it from him.
Yeah, but we're not seeing exactly how Johnny like beats up Kenshi and ties him up. We're not seeing how that happens. So
I was like, because I had to rewatch this trailer 4 or 5 times, and then I found out, oh, the tied up one was Kenshi, because in the trailer Kenshi like wins him about 80% of the time and like just uses his fatal blow, and Johnny just nut punches him and then does the and he wins.
That's all it took, like, Sonic. Just a one nut punch. That's all it took.
And also because it's for the trailer effects, that's why we got to see more Kenshi in that scene.
I mean, if Johnny went to punch Kenshi in the dick, you would never see it coming.
It's true.
Well, I say that, but do we know that Kenshi is blind? Because he doesn't cover his eyes outside of his default
I actually have the answer
costume.
to this, because Twitter already figured it out, or had a really good theory. If you watch the scene where Mileena is freaking out in that like weird sort of pseudo science table or whatever, the operating table.
Kenshi is there too, right?
Yeah, everyone assumes there would be like Kitana in there with her, but it's actually Kenshi, and you see her freaking out and transforming. It's very theorized that she blinds Kenshi in that freak out moment. Like she's gonna cut his eyes out or something. Because she's gonna have random fits of rage, which is very in like character with the original trilogy of Mileena. Yeah. Who's normal most of the time, but then flips her shit. Yeah.
Something that really interests me, and I'm not too sure if I really like this aspect about it, is Kenshi just not being blind and he can use those attacks. Because like I just said, I was like, oh, come out without a hat. And whatever. Kenshi not being blind, maybe he couldn't summon that like the stand ability, basically, that one freaking basically it looks like his Ronin skin in MKX like behind him like all the time. Like maybe he couldn't do that until he was blind and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe they just want to showcase his abilities first, and that's why they did that. I'm not too sure.
I'm guessing all they're going to do is say, oh, his sword lets him see, like we got in Snowblind. So like he can still use all the powers of the sword, but it also has a second ability where he can see with it. But you normally wouldn't need that because he's not blind yet. But once he's blind, it's like, oh, well, now I kind of need it.
I mean, he's certainly not blind right now when he's fighting Johnny, like because he doesn't have that sword. So he has to be able to see. Otherwise, he would just. I mean, he's not been training with old man Sub-Zero in picking up chickens and stuff. As far as we know,
that sucks. You know, now that I think about it, geez, Kenshi is sure going into a lot of different arcs. You go from maybe Yakuza in here. Didn't he also later on wears like a Shaolin costume with Raiden, and then in the last movie he was in, he's like in a post-apocalyptic world, like training with Sub-Zero, and then later he's got a son, and then like in the old timeline he's like working a lot with the special forces and it's on his old Ermac, and also Sub-Zero's like, this guy has so many different stories in this franchise,
and none of them go anywhere.
I guess Snowblind had an ending in a way, but I mean,
I think it would be funny if during the period where Kenshi's not blind, if he had like instead of a blindfold, it's like a Ninja Turtles bandana, with the eye holes.
And he just pulls it down. Oh, so you can see it's like a normal headband. He just pulls it down.
Well, he could do that.
I mean, like Daredevil, like Matt Murdock.
That would be the logical thing to do. But I'm thinking it'd just be hilarious if you wore like Raphael's bandana and you see his eyes.
I like that more too.
That does sound kind of cute. I want to mention something here. At first, I wasn't really vibing with the fact that like, Kenshi, Johnny look very similar. We'll get to the character models after we're done with the trailer. But later on, I thought, well, these are technically not their final look. These are just their skins in a sort of way. And then I'm like, I like having Johnny wearing like a tuxedo. I like Kung Lao with his more casual hoodie wear. And you get some Shaolin monks with like the Raiden. So I like these type of more casual wear like costumes for these characters. So I'm like, I quite like them. I don't
know if you've noticed, but Johnny's outfit here actually was in MK11. It was one of the alternate colours for the 95 movie skin.
Oh, cool.
Which people
like a reference.
A lot of people realise that it could be a reference to Evil Dead because it's like that's the colours Ash wears in one of the films. So it could have been like because they couldn't get Ash, they were like, let's give Johnny those colours. So he's basically brought that. But I always look at it and go, that's just a colour scheme that Jackie Chan wears in Jackie Chan Adventures. So
cute.
So and Johnny did work with Channy Jack according to Deadly Alliance, so you know.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh my god!
I'm looking back at the footage basically, and I'm looking at his costume, and oh boy, just had to get right onto the meme of Johnny right now.
Oh yeah,
that's a real image. I thought that was photoshopped. Why are all these characters so bad?
It's such a cake. It's like
he kind of bad though. That's Sonya.
By the way,
first Kazuya and now this. Oh my god. Kazuya's already caked up in Tekken 8.
He does it again. He does it again. And right after the nut punch, you can see like.
See, this is actually brilliant because Johnny's not wearing like skin tight pants. He's just like trousers tailor made for him. So it's like he had them made specifically to show off his ass because he's that vain, which is brilliant characterization.
I think the funniest thing about this in the trailer, if you watch it, it's like right when Kenshi performs the fatal blow. It's like Johnny's like this, fatal blow. Get into like the pinup pose here. Get into the pinup, pinup pose.
You see, everyone, it's actually a very subtle reference to Tom Cruise in that one movie where he's getting up off the ground, and it's very obvious that he stuffed his pants with like those fake stuff to make his butt look bigger. And Johnny Cage is doing that here too. He stuffs his pants to have better cheeks.
That would be brilliant. That'd be brilliant for a character like Mileena. Her ass isn't so perfect, so she has these like metal like ass plates to go in, and that's why she can like do an ass attack to someone's face and crack the skull like Kitana and Sindel.
Katana still has that move. But we'll talk about that later. But Katana still has the fucking ass in your face move.
The jump up and go backwards.
So it seems that the last game it was all about the feet, and then this game it's all about the asses because Street Fighter 6 came out and said no, the feet are ours. Get your own gimmick, MK, and they were like, oh, okay.
I mean, Katana still got open-toed shoes. I noticed it during gameplay. I was like, we're just starting right away with the toes. Free the toes.
You really
to be fair, I noticed it at the very end of my recording session. I'm just playing and I'm like, just got her feet out. No, that's fair enough. Took like 5 DLCs before MK11 finally freed the toes.
So something I've noticed with the game is if you look at the X-ray effects, it seems a lot more quick now compared to what it was in the prior games. And looking at the colouring of it, where you got like the red tinting and like it's not just black and white. Am I the only one getting like MK Legends vibes, like the way they do X-ray moves?
Legends? You mean like the animated movies?
Yeah, like if you look at when Sub-Zero like headbutts Johnny and like the skull cracks, like the way it transitions into it, the way it looks, makes me think of like Scorpion's Revenge, like when someone gets the head crushed in that.
It does look similar.
Black and white in the background, and then just.
It's very stylized too. Like the bones don't look literally like bones. They look kind of like a stylized kind of version of bones. They're not like. They're very pretty and perfect looking. Then they get cracked, which I actually like because it means you're less likely to get demonetized. I love how they made the X-rays like pretty in a weird way. Like, they're very artistically done. They're not just like here's as realistic as possible. It's like a cool like. Also, the skin is like translucent this time. It looks like the person's skin is made of like glass when it zooms in, which is super cool too.
It's
not just like.
Yeah, no, I mean. there usually is like meat, right, above.
Well, usually it's just their regular body, and then
MK9.
it's kind of it's like you're seeing through with X-ray goggles, so you see like the meat and then the skin and then like the bone. Now it's like legit just the bones with like nothing inside of them. A lot of the time it's just bones, and then like also there's the translucent skin. It's very stylized. I like it a lot. It makes you way less likely to get demonetized. So I'm happy about that.
Once you mention it like that, it does actually look really pretty in that sense.
It's very pretty. That's the clip. That's Tom
I come
Cruise.
in Discord, I say very pretty, and I just see this Tom Cruise ass in my face.
Also very pretty. This was the controversy. He stuffs his pants.
I also think in general, like they seem to have taken a bit of a cue from Injustice. The way Kenshi comes in, like does the final hit, and there's like a big.
Yeah, the explosion transition. Yeah, you're right.
The big blue explosion. It looks like.
I would say the intro part. Because in Injustice, when you use the Clash 2, it's like, with the echo sound and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they've taken those vibes as well. So here's one, Dog. So, do they still have stage interactions?
No, they're gone.
I noticed that. Yeah, they're just not there.
The cameo button is your The cameo button is your stage interaction button.
Because look at Johnny's home. Look at all the fancy shit he's got. Why can't we throw it at people? Why can't
you say fancy stuff?
Why can't we have?
I want to throw the floaty.
I mean, come on, Sento is right there. Sento is there. Why can't we have like a stage brutality where you just grab Sento and just throw it at someone and like slice them apart?
I did notice one thing though, because I was gonna. They recently did a Twitter poll where it's like ask us questions so like that, and one thing I noticed because I was thinking about asking, but I just thought because I noticed there just were no stage like throwables and stuff like that. Was there are stage like breakable still. Like in the tea house, there's a scene where they're fighting and Kung gets kicked back and there's a chair that just breaks behind him. So like I would imagine in the final game there will still be things that you can accidentally break around you and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think that would
be
cool,
especially for Johnny's
pick up the
noodle bowl and throw it at Sub-Zero's face.
You can't throw that.
You can't put the noodle on his head like Street Fighter V.
The question is, like, if someone falls onto a chair and breaks it, do they take more damage, or is it just like purely aesthetic?
No.
It's going to be all Street Fighter 2 style, where stuff just breaks in the background. But that would be cool, though. I think they're really trying to get away from the stage preference being based on if it gives your character an edge. They want it to be because you like the stage.
Pig advantage.
Pig advantage. What? That was in Injustice 1. Like the pig advantage was freaking real, man. That thing was crazy. And then you had like Blanche advantage in that world.
You'll understand when you do Injustice sucks. When you're making that video, you'll understand.
I know they're like Injustice. You get to like if you're a stronger character, you throw cars, and if you're like a gadget character, you blow them up and stuff like that,
or just jump off of them.
Yeah. So I know that's a thing. Yeah.
Just to say, I do think Johnny's house looks awesome. And it's like a fantastic stage. I do wish we could throw stuff at people, but I guess not. Hopefully they'll have like a stage fatality where like you throw someone into the rubble flamingo and it like floats off the edge and they fall to their death.
That's what I was hoping.
There's like a waterfall there. There literally is. Is that safe? I feel like it's for there to like have fun and stuff like that. It's going to be used for a fatality.
There is a wall there. It's just a bit lower down. That's how those work. So there will be a wall there. So like you don't float out. But it's like it just lets the water out as well. Yeah. I've seen stuff like that.
Sonic never seen an infinity pool before.
The hacks that make it like free roam, and you get to see like how the stage looks in different angles.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how much of the city in the background is actually modeled and how much is just a JPEG.
True.
But I'm glad Johnny's finally got a stage of his own because he's never had one before. They've never even done a film set, and a film set would be brilliant. Like just imagine, like picture the when you've got the retrocade with the different backgrounds. Imagine it's a green screen. Cool. Imagine a green screen. So I look because imagine a green screen on a film set, and then like in the retrocade, we can hit the projector and it changes what's on the background. It changes the environment. But then you have all these extras. Like at first it's the wasteland of Outworld. So you got these guys dressed as Tarkatans. Then you hit the thing, and then now it's suddenly the Nether Realm. So the guys Tarkatan's like and they all run off, and then it's the guys dressed as Oni who have to come on and like yeah. Then you get to Khan's arena and they run off. Then you got people dressed as like Sonya and Kano coming in like I've been chained up unfortunately. It could be so much fun. And then you could have just like some like bouncer guy that you knock the opponent into and he's just like just belts
a bouncer guy.
Or even like you break something in the background, like the guy who's fixing the lights is like his ladder gets knocked down, so he's just hanging on the lights now and his feet are dangling.
That's such a Street Fighter thing. I think there's a Street Fighter stage that did exactly that. There's so much you can do with the idea.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Netherrealm.
Now that you mentioned
don't let us down.
like Street Fighter, I will say these stages do remind me a bit of that, just because like they're crowds. Like there are literally crowds there doing their own things, or maybe watching you fight and cheering you on. The tea house has like the daytime version, and you can literally see people eating there, and when you're fighting next, it'll be like.
It's very shades of Street
like
Fighter. Same with the classic outfits, or like the regular civilian clothes is definitely a movie reference, but also it feels very Street Fighter that they have their I'm ready to fight outfits and the you caught me at a restaurant like outfits. When they weren't ready for a fight to start. Which I at first was like kind of like, okay, this is lame, but then I thought like, no, it's actually cool. I want to see casual versions for each character, but do it for everyone, including Outworld. Give me Kitana trying her best to dress how she thinks civilians in Earthrealm dress, but like mess it up. And same with Kitana, that'd be like freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Katana, you picked the tightest. I mean,
because
Mileena, those are the tightest yoga pants I've ever seen. It shows my ass. Feel happy about it.
I just love that because we're still gonna have the main ones. So even if they have these like weird casual ones, it's like that's fine. I love those as long as we still have the main ones too, and that's what they have in here basically.
Yeah. So with Kenshi, we have the classic one. A classic-ish outfit. We have the story one with the Shaolin outfit. This other story one was like a Yakuza, which is like. So we have one. Yeah, we have different styles for the character, which is good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the other characters have. Hopefully, it won't just be like a couple of characters get that, and everyone else gets like the one costume for the entire story. I want to see everyone get multiple outfits in the story.
Yeah. Was anybody else concerned?
Because they love doing skins in like MK11 and Injustice 2 and stuff like that. Well, gear skins and stuff like that, but they do love that kind of stuff. So I think they.
Well, now that you mention it, I think it's going to be just solid skins. Now that you mention that, Sonic, because I don't see these outfits being mix and matchable as much. Just me personally.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, unless it was very tiny changes, like you can change Johnny Cage's watch, because that would be possible. But otherwise,
in MK11. But I remember I've heard about some rumors about this, but we can get to this in the gameplay stuff. But like, we can talk about that over there.
Is anybody else concerned, real quick, that Johnny Cage never glows green?
Not yet.
No.
It's possible. No. It's possible that this costume doesn't have that effect because he's not awakened that power yet. He goes to the Shaolin Temple, trains, learns how to do it, and then when he's got his like the shirtless proper outfit with or without the Johnny tattoo, we get to see if he's got that. Then he'll get the green. Then he'll get the green effect, and then maybe he'll even go red at the end of the game when he's trying to save Sonya.
That'd be sick.
Ooh. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's like these characters are still growing
in the game
into the potential. Do you think they will dare not put Sonya in this game?
I mean, it would be cool if cameos are fully in the story, even if like they just show up for a little bit. But I have my expectations set like kind of low, and I'm just completely ready that the cameo characters never show up in the story. Like they just don't.
There is overlap. We know Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Johnny are both.
Well, yeah. What I mean is the ones that are just cameos so far. I don't think.
Yeah.
They're not guaranteed to be in the story, but now that you mention it, it would make sense that they are in the story because that's why they're cameo fighters. Like, for example, if Sonya backs up Johnny Cage, it makes sense why she's in the gameplay. And honestly, not to spoil too much of the next section, but you need the cameo characters. There's no way in story mode that for the whole thing you can't have the cameo characters because they're like essential for some characters. Like, you actually need them.
There will be.
It's like a mechanic, basically. Yeah.
There are definitely going to be
them for some characters.
There'll be some fights where you don't have that. Clearly, Johnny and Kenshi's one-on-one is going to be a one-on-one in the story. Like,
well, yeah, if not for Kenshi being a cheating bitch and having a fucking stand.
It would be really cool if Kenshi's spirit thing was one of the cameos you could get. And then he could assist.
That would be interesting. That would.
But I think, but this trailer, I think, has already shown us half of Johnny Cage's chapter. Kenshi breaks in, Johnny beats him up, and then he's got him tied. He's like, all right, who sent you? What's going on here? Scorpion, Sub-Zero show up. You fight one of them with the other as a cameo, and then once you've done that, Liu Kang shows up. Like, I reckon we're gonna get we've seen what 2 of the fights are going to be already out of the 4. unless they change the structure.
As long as they don't as long as they don't pull a Mortal Kombat X and have Johnny Cage's entire chapter take place on his stage, like what happened with Sub-Zero, where his entire stage was just fighting the combat kids, and that's all he did for his whole chapter. Like, I want some traveling and changing locations. Go ahead.
I hate to disappoint, but I mean, like, at least from what I've heard, because on the FAQ, they literally say, you know, play the story mode and pick your own Kameo fighter. So literally, it's like, I don't think the cameos are going to be intertwined into the story. I literally think it's going to be...
Then there you go.
Right? That's what I'm predicting. Because even in this trailer, you see, like,
Snake's
while
all
the
bummed
Shaolin
out,
monks were training with Raiden, it's like freaking Kano shows up in a cannonball to help out. It's like, Kano! Like, imagine it's like, all right, guys, gang, it's time to fight the final boss, Shang Tsung. Get him, Goro! Get him, Kano!
Get him, Goro! Get in there! It would be especially good if you have to unlock the cameo characters somehow, like in the crypt or whatever, because then you can have that rare situation where it's like Goro's really busted, and you just have Goro wailing on like the characters and story.
It has something like that.
Unfortunately, Dog, it has been revealed there is no crypt.
Oh.
I saw that. I did see that.
Is it going to be a season pass instead? We go in full Fortnite?
Which I can't imagine they'll just remove the unlockables, like the concept art and stuff entirely. Like it's such a staple of the series now.
There's a new thing that they're going to do that helps with the unlockables. That there are going to still be unlockables, but it's not going to be the crypt. He stated that in the FAQ.
Okay.
And my big brain theory is the thing where you guys have been theorizing about where it's like, oh, the first chapter is going to take maybe 500 years ago with Great Kung Lao. I'm theorizing that we're going to have like a semi-conquest mode where you run as the Great Kung Lao, running around knowing the lore and unlocking things. That's going to be the new crypt.
That's an interesting idea. I mean, my theory was that maybe they would have actual like conquest-ish gameplay in the story. Hence why it's called campaign and not story. So, because I know you didn't unlock a lot of stuff directly in Conquest and Deception, but there were chests that would just give you stuff, and sometimes it would just be a key to a crypt thing, just for the sake of having it be connected to the crypts. But yeah, I can imagine them doing stuff like that. I mean, it really is basically taking the crypt from 11 and just putting it into the story. Like, what if instead of you playing as some dude on the island, it's like, well, Johnny Cage, go to the other side of the Shaolin Temple and talk to this guy, and you're gonna have your next story fight there. In the meantime, go open some chests, get some concept art.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Don't know if they're gonna do that because, like they said, they're classic fan favorite cinematic story mode, as they stated. So. We'll see. Of course, I wish for more.
It's going to be the opposite of the crypt. It's going to be the heavenscape. It's going to be some like perfect realm that Liu Kang has created. And instead of going through a graveyard, you're going through fluffy clouds.
That's adorable.
It's all beautiful. But is that a unicorn? It's a unicorn in the background. This place really is magical.
Wow! It's the Meet the Pyro cinematic. Do you believe in magic?
Every now and then the screen glitches and shows the actual crypt that you're in, but like your brain is making you think it's this beautiful landscape. That'd be sick.
I will say this though, like I've been trying to say this for the past 10 minutes because it was like a joke I had. But
well, anyway, here comes a 5-minute tangent.
Let me say this because it's actually very important to what's going on with me right now. But essentially, I was gonna say basically I feel very hot right now, so I'm gonna take off my damn jacket because it's freaking summer. I don't know why I'm wearing this damn jacket, so I'm just gonna like take it off right now, basically. I
have theory. Is that the Cole Young? Are you gonna show your Arcana? Take off the Cole Young sweat hoodie.
My jacket is stuck. Okay.
Do you think, Snick, there are some people who
swag out my true Arcana?
Oh
baby!
Shit! I wasn't expecting that. I actually wasn't.
It finally came. I'm so happy with it. It looks great. I love it so much.
It is a really good shirt. Like the designer did a really good job. Like it just looks very clean and crisp. I thought you were gonna wear a ninja skin. Like
I thought it was gonna be Ermac. I thought the Ermac has arrived. Yay, I'm wearing it or whatever. It was like
I just wear that whole thing inside. I actually because I bought this with like a couple other T-shirts, so probably every time I come up, I'll be wearing new ones and stuff to show off. But yeah, this is like the one I wanted to show off first because I just thought this thing took about 2 months to get here, but I'm very happy that I got the perfect combo. And that's why I wanted to get that out, because I'm so freaking hot. I've been wearing this stupid jacket for like past like hour, and I forgot I was supposed to do this in the intro, be like, take the jacket off, be like, show this off. Yeah, let's start the episode. But no, we're an hour in.
This episode of the Combat Kings is sponsored by True Underdog's shirts.
True Underdog.
Where can we
Teespring or
where can we get these? Where can we get these incredible products? True Underdog Gaming.
Yeah.
Well, that one's just on Teespring, right? Yeah, it's just a regular Teespring one. Didn't you also order one from Designed by Humans because you wanted to get like?
This
one
is
put it on
Designed by
Humans.
One.
That's right. Yeah. So
yeah, this was the Designed by Humans.
The lore
one,
behind this is that Sonic gets the deal if he bought like 4 shirts or something, and so he needed an extra shirt, and he's like, "Can I buy one of yours?" And I was like, "Sure." So I took one of my designs from a different shop and put it on my old shop, which is Designed by Humans, which has that shirt, which is amazing, but then also some of my god-awful early designs where I was clearly working in Photoshop with or like Adobe Illustrator.
It's cute.
And using pathway tools and stuff. It's got style, but they're not as amazing as the ones on Teespring, which are genuinely good shirts. Like, they're all genuinely good.
You need a shirt that's like a caricature of you going, oh, and like just text underneath going, oh.
Would anybody want to walk around outside with my face on a shirt, though? You got to think about, like, shirts that people would actually wear outside. Like, that shirt that you're wearing, Sonic, do not blame me if a lot of people start asking for your number and hitting on you, because that's a sexy shirt, and it's going to make you sexy, right? Even sexier than you already are. But, like, my face going, oh, who would want to wear that outside? And there's so many shirts like that, especially from creators that suck. Like, they're these big creators who make shirts that are funny references to the channel, but nobody will be caught dead outside wearing it. And so I want shirts people would actually wear. But that's my rant. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Indeed. You make a lot of great shirts. I really do like them. So I'm very happy to get this one finally. With one-time shipping. That's one issue I have with Teespring, is that if I go to a different shop, it's different shipping each time. But if I go on Designed by Human, I can just buy everything in one shipping, basically. That helps out. That helps out a lot.
Very convenient.
So anyways, just thought I'd take off my jacket after 1 hour. And I guess we should keep on going into the trailer. Because after the... okay, let's go back to 1. Who are you? Ellen Johnny says. Oh.
We're taking so long to get through this.
That's fine. I mean, we're just chatting about the discussion. I freaking forgot my intro because I had a gimmick where I was going to be like, every time we start an episode, I will come up with a stupid joke about the Mortal Kombat 1 title. And I forgot to do that. So I'm quickly do that right here. Which one do you guys want? Do you want the dumb, stupid, cringe one? Or do you want the one with more discussion availability in there?
I got a better idea. Let's make it an anime reference. Have Liu Kang turn to Raiden and go, Raiden, let's go back. Return to 1. Back to 1. It's a ReZero reference.
All for 1.
It was supposed to be a ReZero reference, but I failed super hard.
I started watching ReZero recently, actually.
ReZero.
It's quite good.
Bless your soul. I mean, I think it's pretty decent.
I've never seen it, but I know the memes, and I would use the memes to fuck with students who got emotional over that scene where he just totally leaves Rem high and dry.
For 20 minutes! 20 minutes!
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
And it's
so
like,
good.
And it's for a girl.
Blue-haired anime people never get to be happy.
And he's he's doing that for a girl who basically had barely been in the last like 20 episodes.
Oh,
it's like, dude, come on.
Well, I'm curious, Snake, have you finished ReZero yet, or are you going through it?
I'm on to season 2.
Oh, I haven't seen season 2 yet. All I've heard is that season 1 is the most popular, the memes, and the people that talk about it. Nobody watched season 2, but I heard season 2 is really good. Like, it gets really good, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure it's good.
I did stop watching it because I got really into Sakura Wars, so started watching that as well.
Okay.
Good Anyways, let's get back to Mortal Kombat before our audience leaves.
So I got a couple of things to say about Scott. Yeah. So it's funny how it's like, who are you? Oh, well, first off, I was right when I said that Johnny Cage named the game. He said, "Let's go back to 1." So
that's funny. I love that joke.
I was right.
Wait a second. I didn't even say my joke just then. I'll say it in a bit.
But then. It's funny because Liu Kang's like I am the god of fire, and then it's like, oh, then here's his gameplay section, which he spends half of it getting his ass kicked by Scorpion. And this is like the new Kotal Khan gets killed in his own trailer by Jackie Briggs.
I really hope that when Johnny Cage hears him go, "I'm god of fire," he goes, "Oh wow," and I'm god of movies. It just takes the piss out of him. Like, doesn't believe he's a god right away.
Something I want to show you guys here is when I first, because I was trying to make sure whether or not Liu Kang still retained his electricity abilities or not, because for the most part, I don't think he has. He just straight up is just red and blue fire, basically.
Yeah. He's Azula and Zuko.
Oh yeah, literally. But there is one scene where in the very beginning he does like this like ability right here, and you can actually hear like a bzz sound when he's using it. Which made me thought, oh, did he keep his electric ability?
He has a bit of lightning when he teleports into it, looks like. That teleport attack where he comes out of the ground and there's like a fizzle around him. There seems to be maybe remnants of lightning, but that could just be fire, because keep in mind, science fact, everybody, they're the same thing. Like plasma and fire are like related. So
I guess.
That's why in Avatar, the firebenders can control lightning. It's science, you see.
Oh, that's very cool, very cool.
Now that you post a screenshot, it's just a blue aura. It's not quite lightning, huh? It's just like maybe tiny...
Well, I post a screenshot, you see the video, you can literally hear the sound when he's actually using it too.
I definitely think it looks very lightning-ish.
Here's something for you guys.
Liu Kang. Too much power creep.
Do you guys notice that Scorpion isn't using his spear on a rope? I mean, I don't know if he does it at all, but like so far, all I can recall seeing is he's using a Kusarigama instead, and
a little sickle,
and the kunai's just in his hand. So I wonder if that's
this kind of thing.
So I wonder if they do go on for like a new style with that, or if like this is just for now, and then he'll lose the Kusarigama and then tie the kunai, and he'll be like. Almost like an origin story for how he goes from one thing to the next, like Lightyear, and then he's like, "Whoa!" throws it, and it's like, "Oh, this is actually really cool. I'm going to stick with this."
Hard to say, because even the new what would you just call it, the Kurisaga, is like it's burning like fire and stuff like this. So there's got to be something special with his abilities connected with it and stuff. So it's hard to say.
Maybe instead of Arcana, all the characters have items they use as weapons. Like that's where your power comes from. Johnny Cage has his sunglasses. Which once again they've not given him the sunglasses in the story so far, like this was MKX or 11.
So far,
in his fatality, and that's it during the trailer. When he does the fatality on Kenshi, he's wearing them. But yeah.
He does have it later on in gameplay.
I wonder if this is an intentional thing, because if he has animations
3 minutes,
tied,
you can see him. He's wearing sunglasses there.
If he has animations tied to his sunglasses, does that mean they're like, well, we can't have him wear the sunglasses normally, or Jean-Claude Van Damme's skin would be wearing the sunglasses as well, and we can't have that because then you won't be able to see it's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's not going to use the sunglasses, I predict. I think they're just going to be a gear piece, and you can put them on or off, and give him really goofy sunglasses.
Wasn't it confirmed there's no customization?
Oh, then maybe not.
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Maybe he puts the sunglasses on just for the fatality. Like he puts them on just to kill you.
I mean,
I do see some gameplay with him on it though later on too.
I mean, back in the day, he didn't wear sunglasses in MK1 or 2 until outside of victory poses and stuff. Like he only put them on.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you could also just not give a shit, because I know a lot of y'all don't play Street Fighter, but in Street Fighter 5, Bison's outro animation is he legit takes his Bison cap off, like his military cap off, and combs his finger through his hair, then puts the hat back on. And there's costumes where he's just not wearing any hats, and he still does the fucking animation. Like, developers didn't care. Yeah, so it could be like he could do the sunglasses animation, but never put on sunglasses because you didn't like have it for the costume. But he still does like.
I said they should have done that in MK11 with Liu Kang's bandana or Johnny's sunglasses, because like I don't care if it means that some of the animations are going to be a bit wonky. I want to have a Johnny who doesn't wear sunglasses, or here's Johnny Cage skin from the '95 movie wearing sunglasses, where he barely fucking wore them in that movie.
Mm-hmm. True.
I want Raiden with no hat, because in the '95 movie he didn't wear a hat. I want Liu Kang with no bandana because in MK1 he didn't have one. It's cringe.
Cringe.
We'll see.
Roger that.
I bet you can have Johnny without sunglasses though. I bet because he literally has that in the trailer. I mean, in the gameplay there.
I mean, you say that, but the story mode version you play as in MK11 doesn't wear sunglasses, but in normal gameplay he has to.
All right, I guess so.
So this could be the same thing where it's like in normal gameplay he's always wearing sunglasses, but in story mode he just doesn't.
What is this Photoshop? Why is it so good? The shadows well done and stuff. Someone really wanted this image to become a meme. What was that show I was mentioning? Oh yeah, you mentioned about the gear pieces. I think we'll see how the customization works, but I think they're gonna lean towards not having the gear pieces, or because they did confirm one thing. They literally I forgot it was Ed Boomer, the Q&A. They literally said that cameos are the variations of this game, so there are no variations for each character like how they did previously.
Which
and that kind of makes me think there's no more gears and stuff like that.
Well, no variations just means like no variations. Gear could be separate, but it's still very possible they get rid of the gear. It's not out of the question. Like they could.
Yeah, basically what you're saying is that the way a character plays is the way the character plays. You just get to have assists from someone else, effectively.
It's the cameos that make them different, is what they're leaning towards saying, actually, which is really interesting.
Well, how you play them makes them different, because like in the same way that Street Fighter 6 finally said, "Hey, every move the character's ever had, like you can just have it in this one play style." And I think MK1's doing the same thing. It's like, hey, you want Kitana with 10 special moves? Here you go. And it was confusing. She had so many, and I imagine everybody was like that with like their, because I played like 4
combos
characters
and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was the only characters you could play? 4 characters.
Actually, I didn't play Fire God Liu Kang. That's the only one I didn't play because I knew everybody else would. I was like, everyone's gonna play the god. I'll play everybody else. But yeah.
Speaking of his gameplay, though,
we'll talk about it later when we can say when we talk about the gameplay who you can play as.
Oh, well, I was just about to say I'm happy that like, because in MK11 we got a little bit of that Fire God Liu Kang's pizzazz, some electricity, it's very quick combination. And this one, he's straight up as a new character. Well, straight up is a new Liu Kang, basically. Like, he is different. He's got like the dragon fires and all the blue fires and stuff like that. So I'm glad we finally got that, basically.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys noticed, but when, because I've just moved forward a bit. No, I think it might actually be a gauntlet or like a disfigurement, because Kenshi's still got like the weird hand thing in the Shaolin outfit.
Yeah.
The weird. You mean the tattoos?
I'm not sure it is tattoos. I feel like it
they're
pops
tattoos.
out a bit too much. You sure?
I think he's got tattoos on his hands.
Yeah, because when I was playing the game, they're on his fingers and stuff, and it's implied it goes all the way down his arm, like from his shoulder, much like the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Like he's all tatted up.
Guys,
I mean, I'm like 90% sure. I could be wrong, but
we need it now. I'm just saying, we need a shirtless Kenshi skin. Gotta see the full tattoo for lore reasons.
And when you have it, he needs to have an intro where he's wearing it, and then he just throws it off. He throws his top off. He's like, "Yep, go full." And then he needs a recolor for his suit.
Majima.
He needs a recolor for his suit where it's grey with a maroon shirt. Then it's just Kazuma Kiryu.
Oh, Kazuma, that's right. I was just about to say they could wear like take his shirt off, wear the safety helmet, and start doing the Majima dance. His tattoo might be like that, all the way to the arm, kind of a thing.
I'm sure. I mean, if it goes down to his hands, it probably does go all the way up to his shoulders.
Yeah.
It feels very much like an Americanized idea of what Yakuza tattoos are. Which is kind of what MK's vibe has always been, like American ideas of China and Japan and whatnot. So
I have heard that when you if you're a tourist who goes to like Japan or certain areas of China, if you do have tattoos, you like should hide them, because it's a very common misconception that any tats at all means like you belong to a gang in some areas. So like you don't want to be all tatted up.
Yeah.
So
some hot springs in Japan don't allow you if you have tats. I've heard about that. Yeah.
How you show your I guess it's similar to how in America you wear like colors to show your gang affiliation. I guess your tattoos could show your gang affiliation.
Ah, interesting. Well,
I say that knowing nothing about it. So.
Oh. I hope we're not making the what is it called? Making it the fuck up awards here, basically. But now that Snake has jumped us to the Shaolin Monks era, not era, the part basically. Yeah. What you guys think about all this stuff?
Well, it's worth noting that Kenshi here is still not wielding Sento. Like it's you can tell 'cause he's got like the gap in the middle, which I don't know a ton about swords, but I feel like that would probably make it not as good if you got that gap. It feels like something that would weaken its integrity.
It swings it faster. It cuts through the air quicker.
Good for assassinating people, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, me too. Not making shit up.
There could be a lot of reasons why. I think the reason he's using a different sword could be story reasons, or it could just be because that's like an OP sword, and here he's in like the Shaolin Temple. He probably doesn't need to have like the strongest weapon.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you think this takes place before the sword wooden during gameplay?
I'm sure this will be after. Like, I can imagine it'd be like Liu Kang shows up. Liu Kang shows up and he's like, "Johnny, Kenshi, you're both coming with me." But yeah, I imagine he probably got Sento back by now. But then it's like, well, why is he not using it yet? I mean, it could be for sparring purposes, but then why not use a wooden sword?
Yeah, I mean, that would make way more sense. But like, we've always joked about how like the characters will say like, we're just training, then they fucking mutilate each other. So it's one of those funny things where it's like, don't use your sword on me, Kenshi. okay, I won't. Gameplay ensues and just cut the fuck out of it.
This is a rubber sword. Don't worry about it.
Like, we're just doing some fun sparring, son. Then he like slices him up with his sword.
Though it is a fun fact that during gameplay, the sword is sheathed a lot of the time, like Snake pointed out, like Virgil holds it. So there are plenty of attacks where Kenshi just whacks you with the scabbard, with the sword still inside of its sheath. He just like whacks you with it, or he hits you with the handle of the sword instead, like not even the blade part. So there's parts where he does that, which is pretty cool. I like him being so skilled that the sword stays in sometimes.
If he's got this new style, he has to have a bit where he has a fatality where he swings sword, does a bunch of slashes, and then slowly puts it back in, and then they explode into a bunch of gore. If Kenshi does not have that as a fatality after this setup with his play style, then NetherRealm officially do not know what they're doing, and they should be boycotted. I'm just saying.
He has that. He has that in his intro too, where it's like he does like the cool and there's like a close up to his sword coming to the sheath, like and that. Like they do that in the intro.
And it's fitting that he's like Virgil in that sense, because the guy who plays Virgil played him in MK Legacy Season 2.
Oh.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. What do you guys think about Raiden currently, at least?
I think his belt looks like his duct tape.
His belt?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Now that you mention it like that.
I think Raiden is adorable. He speaks from the heart, which is cute.
He speaks from the heart.
They're giving him a bit more personality than usual, which is good. I'm hoping that they'll lean a bit into the Lambert style, like they are, little quippy.
Yeah, we're all hoping, fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean,
you say they give him a bit more personality, but he literally only has like one line in this whole entire trailer.
But the way he delivers it, it's not like a stoic delivery like previously.
No, the Raiden, we know,
that'll be part of the reason why he's not Richard Epcar anymore. Not only because Richard Epcar seems to just not be playing Raiden in general, because he's not in Onslaught either, but because it's a younger Raiden with a less stoic personality. I don't know if Richard Epcar's voice would be a good fit for that. So this is like the one recast where I look at it and go, yeah, I can understand why. But other than Bihan, of course, because like that the Dr. Claw would not work for a human Bihan. It just wouldn't.
Yeah, of course.
It just wouldn't.
And also because this is a younger and different Raiden. This is like a very different depiction of Raiden. Like we've seen human Raiden, but it's Raiden who transitions into human. This is literally, I'm born as like a freaking 20-year-old teenager, and I have thunder powers. Like that's a very different depiction.
I love that you said 20-year-old teenager.
And I'm sure he's not born as a teenager. That would be kind of weird. I'm sure he's just born as a baby.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You get what I mean.
I do. But it's just so funny how you oxymoroned yourself. I like that. Was cute.
I wonder if his and Liu Kang's relationship is going to be like an inversion of the Legends films, where he's like a father to him, but here it's like Liu Kang is the father to Raiden.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Because who raised Raiden? Was he just left at the Shaolin Temple, or left with the Liu family, or did Liu Kang just raise him himself?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like in the first trailers, you guys said before, maybe he's adopted by the Kung family or something like that. I can see that. I definitely see he'll be in something.
Full name is Raiden Lau.
but here's the other question. So Raiden is here as a mortal. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean for Fujin, his brother? Mm-hmm. Is he mortal too, or is he still the Wind God?
Deleted?
It's a very good question, actually. Not gonna lie. What's that? Someone who got erased from reality?
Fujin who?
I mean, it would be really cruel if Liu Kang did that after Fujin was like the one guy he told his plan to in the last game. It was like, Fujin, trust me. Let yourself get killed by Shang Tsung. It'll all be worth it in the end. And then it's like, bye, Fujin. Beam.
You assume that's what he told them, but actually, they had a secret conversation, and they were just chatting, and Fujin said that Liu Kang's drip was lacking. He didn't like his god design, and so Liu Kang was like, oh, is that how it is, bitch? Guess who's not going to be in the new timeline?
and then he shows up with some new drip in the next game, and then Fujin's essence like coalesces into Raiden, and Raiden's like, Liu Kang, you've got no drip still, and he's like, oh, what the?
I thought you were going to say that like Liu Kang has PTSD
and against the god.
You got no drip, Liu Kang. Smite.
Yep. Turns out it's a very sensitive guy.
Peace.
Okay, so what do you guys think of the new announcer? Because I'm pretty sure it's a different announcer now.
You mean Onaga?
I barely noticed it, but it does sound Shao Kahn-y, basically.
It does.
You mean Onaga? Onaga.
No. You know, I think it would have been really good.
It's not.
If it was Liu Kang who was the announcer.
That'd be sick.
And then, so not only did you say,
it turned out to be Liu Kang.
But not only did you say I win, also when you're fighting him, he says round 1, smite, because he's a god, so he's gonna smite you. That would be cool and dumb and cringe, but it'd be so cool.
I didn't look at all the moves in the stress test currently, because sometimes like you too, Tronodog, you would show the move list sometimes in your video, and I get to see the moves and stuff like that. I do like the fatal blow that Liu Kang has, the name of him, because literally at the end he has like the Mortal Kombat like logo like smites you down.
Hits you with the logo.
And that like fatal blow is called Mark of the God. So literally stamp.
Wait. So the MK logo attacks, and it's called Mark of the God because the MK logo is taken from the 2021 movie where it's the symbol of the Arcana, the Mark of the God.
It's the Mark of the Dragon. No, Arcana is the Mark of the Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. Not the
you said Mark of the God. You said it's Mark of the God, you coward.
The fatal blow is the Mark of the Gods, but the Arcana is from the Dragon something. The Dragon Gods something? Right?
The Elder Gods are dragons, I thought. That's why Onaga is seen killing the Elder Gods in his ending, and he's like grabbing literal like green dragons that look like shadows.
Yeah, you see that in MK9. That's the form they take when they merge with Raiden.
So I mean,
but what I mean to say is
I think we're looking too hard into it, guys. I think we're looking too hard into it. But Snake's
all I'm saying is that Liu Kang is
weaponizing.
He is weaponizing Arcana in his move.
Okay. He's literally that mark is literally an Arcana powing into you, literally pushing it into your face. That's right. We want you to like Arcanas.
So then things proceed a bit. I like the little background area where those monks are fighting. We got the big statues with the ropes, like the classic Wuxi Academy stage, but like a smaller scale.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, that's like the 3D era, like Wuxi Academy.
You didn't notice that right away, really fake fan Sonic.
I was too busy enjoying Johnny's mansion.
The stages look very happy and bright. I'm sure we're gonna have some dark and creepy stages too, but many of the stages so far, they're very happy vibes. Like, I'm just happy.
The stages are confirmed to have, some of them have day and night, so I imagine some of them are going to have corrupt. I mean, the Living Forest is a stage.
The Living Forest is in the game.
And it's all like nice and happy and very bright and beautiful. You know they're going to have like a dark, twisted version from when like the villain comes in. He's like, I'm going to corrupt this world. And it's like, oh no, Outworld's gone evil again.
It's funny you mentioned the forest area because I was watching the Fighter's Den and he dropped a lore fact I did not know about, which is before apparently that area was corrupted. It was called the Laughing Forest. So that could be like the happy trees in the background in that scene.
Okay, what this is,
and I'm like,
that's a detail from the Malibu comics. Because the Kitana and Mileena issue, I posted this on Twitter as well, actually. It was called the Laughing Forest. They're all like happy smiling faces, and it's really creepy, actually, weirdly enough. But because it was like, this is that's from Sindel and Jared's reign, because this was like before Edenia and Outworld were firmly established as separate realms. So it's like this was in a time where it's like Shao Kahn usurps the throne from them, and he corrupts Edenia into Outworld. And so the idea is that he corrupts that, which I think may actually have some weight to it, because in MK4, which is set in Edenia, the Living Forest is one of the stages. So I think the intention by that point was that this was originally an Edenia location. That was now
I like that idea.
Somewhat restored.
That's really cool. I am curious though, if that's the case, do you think the Living Forest in this game is Edenia?
Yeah.
Or do you think that's an Outworld?
I think it's
because for the most part, people remember the Living Forest in Outworld. So I don't know how smart NRS is about this.
Well, here's what I think. I think, you're right. You're right that sometimes developers aren't as smart as we would think. But I think they're being pretty clever here. I think we're going to get future trailers that show, like, the Outworld squad. Because we have Edenia and the Earthrealmers right now.
We're going to get that soon.
I think we're going to get a trailer with the Outworld squad. And it's going to show, like, Outworld stages to go with, like, it being the Outworld squad, you know?
Yeah.
There is an intro.
Dope music.
There is an intro. There's an intro with Bihan where he mentions the Black Dragon, I think. I think it's him who mentions it.
He did.
Which means there will be at least one Black Dragon rep in this game.
Jared.
Probably Kano, but
probably Kano. Yeah.
Hopefully not. I'd rather Kano. I want Kano to be left out for a game.
Me too. I want to be vindicated because I don't even hate Kano anymore. I just want to be like vindicated that I've wanted him gone for so long that now I just want him to be gone for a game.
Just one game. And there's some people just
game,
like...
guys.
I know some people get pissy.
Cobra. King Cobra is going to be the ruler of the Black Dragon.
You stole that from my fucking fanfic. How dare you?
Did I? Shit. I can't read.
Spoilers.
I think MK1 Kano being one of the cameos was a big mistake. It should have been King Kano.
Yeah. Would have been too cool.
Well, they specified it in the Summerfest, and Boom was like, I want cameos to feel like a very, very special callback to some of the original OG stuff. So that's why you see Stryker wearing his literally MK3 classic costume, which looks dumb, but it's because it's a classic costume. That's why it looks like that.
The classic costumes always look dumb. The very few actually look decent.
Everybody recognized it, though, which is the cool part. Everyone knew Stryker when he ran in with the flashlight, and, everyone knew. And Liu Kang, it's on Liu Kang, which could have just been a coincidence, but it's just so funny that the strongest character we know so far is like, fucking flashlight, shit. And then gets tased. Not lightning. Funny. The one weakness I have.
Classic skins bug me, because every time they bring back Classic Jax, his pants are always made of spandex. And it looks terrible. I just give him pants, normal pants.
I just want the classic ninja skins from MK9. Those look awesome, and they can never replicate how good those look ever again for some reason.
I do appreciate young Jax having his mustache though, because they always they made him clean shaven in 11.
But in 11, you meant the new one. The new one. Sorry. Yeah.
He didn't have it in 11, so he was just clean shaven because it's the younger version. So it just looks wrong. And whereas here it's like. Yeah, he's got the classic mustache, so it looks like John Parrish now, which is good.
Yeah. I am very interested in knowing if the Kameo Fighters will all have these, classic skins, or will they have their modern looks, too? Are we forced to make them wear the
interesting
Sonya
thing
yoga pants and stuff?
We've seen Sonya MK1 and 3 versions so far.
Yes,
we saw
I've noticed that, too.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there actually is you can see
both.
both.
The trailer?
And each costume also has 2 colours.
Nice.
Yeah, So
you picked the red one, right, Underdog, if I'm not mistaken? Or was that Uncaged?
During gameplay, I somehow managed to pick color 1 and 2 for characters a couple of times, and I don't know how, because I'm pretty sure each time I just pressed X to select the character. So I'm like, how am I getting color 2 for Kitana sometimes? And I definitely got red Sonya sometimes, too.
Yeah, red Sonya. Nice.
I will say, too, I love how Jax is a very animated cameo character. He doesn't just do, if you do the throw with him, he does the throw, but he legit puts his arms out and Mad Dog mean mugs the opponent, goes what, and walks off stage. I'm like, damn, nice. Jax.
I like personalities like that.
And he'll punch you and
one
flex his arm
personality
and
I did
leave.
find super funny is just Sonya is so happy. She looks so ready and pumped up to fight.
Combat time! It's the TV show Sonya. Combat time!
Even when she's doing the fatality, she's like,
yes.
She's so happy. I think someone pointed out, because when you win as a character, your cameo will come on and also do a win pose. So when you win, someone will be in the background.
Yep.
And run back. I think someone was like, bro thought she did something or something. Something like that.
Yep. I kind of prefer this happy version of Sonya only because now that you pointed out, we've had grizzled stoic Sonya for 3 straight games.
That
where
is
she
true.
Only salutes, and that's all she does. She wins and goes. So I'm glad now she's like, ha!
Yeah, I mean, I love
fun.
goofiness in video games too, and because they're claessic characters, so I can totally see them being
Kitana's pretty savage too. Did y'all see Kitana? What she does every time she wins? She always fans herself. Like a cheeky little bitch.
Her intro, she laughs at you too. She'll be like, I like that.
But that's what that's at MK9, because if it's your pose, she does this and then goes like,
and then go. After fatalitying you, man, and her fatality is pretty savage. So it's so funny for her to reduce you to lamb chops. And
I do like that fatality. Cause I saw that one. I saw the Jax one, the classic grow and step on people. Which, people are gonna mod that for whichever lady they want to see grow.
No, you're right. You're not wrong.
I saw.
Did they do that for Ermac?
I saw Kenshi's other one, not the one in the trail. There's the one they have in the build is a different one.
Oh,
that one is probably probably my favorite one just because of that first part.
He sticks the sword down the throat and then turns them upside down, and then he still takes it and slashes them. And I feel like I don't know. I feel like you didn't need to do both of those. I feel like just
I wish the first part extended. That last part was unnecessary.
I was hoping he'd turn it upside down and keep spinning it is what I thought he was going to do or something. You know,
I would have had the sword go down the throat, stick out through the taint basically, and then he grabs it and like swings it out and like slices them completely open.
Yeah,
it would have been really sick.
And just that, like just leave fatalities combined into one.
This is the issue I have with modern fatalities. So many of them are just they're basically cramming two different fatality ideas together. I mean, RoboCop did like 3 in 1, and it's like, why not just do each of them individually? Why do we have to be locked to 2 fatalities now? Why can't we have like 4 or 5 per character?
It'd be so much money, Snake.
People are more inclined to use them, I think, online rather than just go to store and go pop. If they were shorter and there were more of them. Give us more options that are shorter, so then people will be like, yeah, I'll do a fatality now, why not? And it's just then you're not wasting everyone's time.
What were you gonna say, Dog?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say like what would have been cool in hindsight's 2020. So I'm not gonna pretend like, oh, I'm so creative for this. It would have been pretty sick if the sword just kept drilling down into their body like Snake saying, but then like the person's like, oh, and the spirit like the Kenshi can summon just bursts out from in them and is holding the sword, because like it goes where the sword is, like the little spirit guy. Cool. That would have been pretty sick.
Or you could do like a possession one where he sticks the sword in them, and then they're like, like glowing blue, and then it's like glowing blue eyes, and they just like pull the sword out, and it's like now the Kenshi's ancestor with the sword possessing the body.
Oh, that's messed up. That's a little too messed up.
Or the sword goes all the way down their body. Sword goes in the body. He possesses them. They shove their hand in their own stomach and grab the sword and pull it out from inside of them, and that chops them like in half, and they fall backward. Would have been super sick too. Kind of evil for Kenshi, but he's Yakuza now, so it kind of makes sense. I mean,
the other one that I did like was Sub-Zero's. Basically the boomerang until the slowly sliding off that on the ice pick one. I think that was pretty epic.
Mm-hmm. That one definitely feels like it was inspired by Invincible, because there's a little cough of blood before they fully die. They go, and they slide down the sword.
I'll share a clip. I'll share it right now too, because it's actually really reminiscent of this one clip that I saw. Someone made like a. Like, basically, it's like maybe it's a reference to this one anime from a very long time ago.
I think it's a lot of people are very happy to see Sonya having her like leg moves back.
Yeah,
like the classic acrobatic, because they were just completely stripped out in 11, which I guess made sense it makes sense like a 60-year-old woman to be using drones and stuff. But it's like, but we spend most of the time with the younger version who should still be doing this stuff. So it's
because Ronda Rousey. They wanted Ronda Rousey inspired moves, so they probably asked Ronda like, "Hey, do some like actual like MMA stuff, and we'll just motion capture it." I'm guessing.
Which is weird because like, why if they wanted it to be more like Ronda, why take away her melee attacks and give her a drone?
You never seen Ronda Rousey like in that famous match with the drone? But yeah,
it's pretty epic. Way she tossed that drone and used it for
when we get back to the
wrestling.
Once we finish this segment, if we ever do, and talk about the gameplay, I saw extra fatalities that I want to tell y'all about that we saw behind closed doors that I don't think's been revealed to anybody yet, and we weren't told that we couldn't talk about them, so I'm going to talk about them. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I was actually kind of curious about what exactly are you allowed to talk about. Well, we'll get to that right after we do this trailer.
I can talk about anything. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask some things too. But yeah, so.
Interestingly, Raiden isn't using his staff anymore because he doesn't have a lightning staff. He's just doing like Shaolin Kung Fu, so that's his gimmick now, along with Kung Lao. So I guess because Liu Kang won't do as much of that, he's more about the Dragon Ball Z power hits. So
yeah, let's see that.
Yeah, he's very Dragon Ball Z. He even fights hands behind his back and does the kicks in some parts. Like he just puts his hands behind his back and kicks you in the face.
That's nice. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Okay, that's cool. I did find it very funny in the story trailer. It's like Kenshi and Raiden are like, we need to do some training and we need to like learn some things about this. Okay, and at the end, Raiden just freaking puts a hole through Kenshi.
Yeah, no mercy.
Next up, we've got to the Edenium part of the trailer.
Mileena. Interestingly, that the place she's in, it looks like some kind of like alchemy lab. So, whose is this? Is there an evil sorcerer involved, or is this just an apothecary in Edenia because it's like old school? Interesting. There are two interesting things about Milena's design actually. One is you see the normal face, so obviously that's going to mutate at some point. Yeah. Whether that'll be all in one go or like bit by bit, we'll have to see. The other interesting bit is that she's also got open-toed shoes, so Mileena stands. You know, you'll be happy with that.
You guys won, Mileena stands. You won heavily.
We know Melina's feet are extra stinky. She doesn't shower because she's gross.
You realize they like that kind of... Well,
they do. I know they do. I have a friend that likes it, so I know, yeah.
Well, but looking at Melina's teeth, someone actually asked me on Twitter if I thought about the idea maybe she becomes a vampire. it could be interesting. I mean, she has had a vampire skin before.
That would be cool. The Tara bites her. The Tara bit her, and she's slowly becoming a vampire. Oh.
That could actually be it, actually.
This is the curse. This is the way they introduced Natara into this game.
I mean, it is described as a sickness.
Yeah.
So I could think about it now. It could happen. Although looking at the teeth as we see in the trailer, it reminds me of Conquest, the TV show, because in that she just has like the little teeth in the mouth. It's not like a special mouth or anything. It's just a mouth but with like sharp teeth. It reminds me of that.
So like 2021 Mileena before she activated the full mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mileena in this game does not look Tarkatan at all, honestly. She still has the really creepy teeth. Well, they're not Tarkatan teeth. They're just like really... look more like ape teeth, not to be too mean. Look kind of like chimpanzee teeth if you pause and look at them. Like, they're just really sharp, menacing teeth. But
I mean, did she ever take her mask off when she's full Tarkatan yet?
No.
Because we see like the transformation, but she doesn't do it fully, right?
We see a bit of a glimpse in the trailer where like, the outer edges of the mouth look a lot like they did in 11. So I'm sure it's going to go like... if not exactly the same, it's gonna be it will get big eventually. But yeah, like the idea of it being something different. I mean, I'm sure she's not a clone. I'm sure she's literally Kitana's sister in this. Because why would Liu Kang make her as a clone? So she's been reimagined in this timeline to be her sister. Maybe it is an actual curse. Because why would there be Tarkatan teeth otherwise? So,
actually, I remember someone in my server actually told me this theory basically, and it was kind of interesting. I don't know if this will be the way to go, but it's like Liu Kang is trying to right the wrongs of like the past timelines and stuff like that. However, things like Mileena becoming like half Tarkatan is like maybe something that is destined. So like the past things, the past wrongs are like creeping in and changing like things around. So maybe some bad guys who are good guys in this like start to like go more evil and whatnot and stuff like that. There was a theory about like that. That
was an idea I proposed like for when around the time of like MKX, I think, where it's like because it's like it is like I mean, it's discussed in like X-Men Days of Future Past, the idea that you try and change time and the time will just try and keep with the same course even if you try and change it. So it could well... So that would explain why I say Cabal still gets burnt, even though it's clearly different circumstances. Why Sub-Zero still gets discarded, different circumstances.
Jax's
so I could
arms,
see yeah, so, I mean, they all almost kind of suggest the idea with Jax in that same game, MK9. So I could see it being like, Bihan's going to turn out bad still. Mileena's still going to have the mouth thing still.
Kenshi has to get blinded, yeah. That's going to be the new Jax arm pull. Kenshi now has to be blinded in every instance.
Scorpion still has to die and become a Revenant. Well, I'm sure it'll be a Revenant. It's described as a Wraith in Onslaught, so they might have changed their minds again. I hope they start calling him I want them to call him a Spectre again, or a Hellspawn. I'm sick of them calling him a Revenant. Never use the word Revenant in these games again. Just don't do it.
We're done with that.
Don't say the word Revenant in front of me.
That's a pretty good
movie. The Revenant.
Bitch.
I still have to watch it. I prefer my idea that someone poisoned like Mileena's tea and they made her sick, and she's now down with the sickness and she's transforming. Maybe Shang Tsung, maybe some devious villain poisoned her to make her like. Maybe someone's trying to destabilize Edenia, so they're just trying to sabotage the queen, and it just so happens that the poison that like transforms her has that like appearance shift.
But that's the interesting thing with this whole thing. So Mileena is on a throne. We know this for a fact.
Yeah.
We know she is either going to be a queen or she's trying to be. Yeah.
But one of the stages that people have seen in the background, you can see Mileena and what appears to be Sindel on thrones.
Yes.
So it seems. So I wonder if it's that Mileena has been made the Khan of Outworld, and Sindel is still the Queen of Edenia. Where Jared is, who knows? But then I guess. But then it's like, well, why would that be?
I think it's more like Mileena is going to be taking over her mother. I think that's the angle, maybe.
But then that just raises the question of why Mileena. Is she the older sister now? Which is weird. Because she's Kitana. Obviously, as Kitana's clone, she's younger.
Well,
so if you're going to make her a sister, why would you just change it so that she's older?
I have two theories. I have two theories why Mileena is the ruler. One would be a really cool story reason. The other is just me being goofy about it. Here's the goofy one first. So the goofy one is they're twins. So it comes down to like which one wants to be queen more. And whenever the idea of Kitana being queen comes up, Mileena has a hissy fit and just stomps her feet and is like, no, I want it. I want to be queen. And Kitana's like, fine. I really don't care enough. You can be queen. But I think a cool story reason would actually be that Kitana is in love with Liu Kang. And because he's not royalty, she can't like marry Liu Kang if she's queen. So she lets Mileena be queen because Mileena wants to be queen anyway, and like that's my theory.
I mean,
Star Wars kind of thing going on.
He is above royalty because he's a god.
Yeah, but
also,
like maybe
in one of the intro dialogues, it seems like they don't even know each
He's
other.
Earthrealm still, maybe you can't marry an Earthrealmer if you're an Edenian queen. And he's Earthrealm.
But there's also like an intro dialogue where it's like Liu Kang straight up was like, "Trust your consort Jade," and Kitana's like, "Could you be more cryptic, whoever the fuck you are?" kind of like thing in one of the intro dialogues.
That's interesting.
But
Which doesn't know him. Okay.
It's worth noting that you could make it that even if Melina's younger, like, it could just be that has more ambition, because if you really think about it, like Mileena has tried to rule Outworld in both timelines. She did that after Deception, and then Khan just came and took the throne back, and then she did it after MK9. Whereas Kitana has never really tried to become the Queen of Edeni. She's never tried to like. I'm sure Sindel, the true Sindel, would be like if Kitana asked, she would say, "Yeah, I'll step down. You can take over."
Mm-hmm.
But the most Kitana's really done is like raised an army to fight Outworld in Deadly Alliance.
Yeah.
She's never really shown much ambition, so that could still be in line with her characters, that Mileena wants to rule once Sindel steps down, and Kitana just has no interest in that. She just wants to do other stuff, or maybe it sounds like their abilities. Maybe Mileena is just more better suited to it because she's not like an insane Tarkatan thing. Maybe in this timeline she's really smart, and that intelligence leads to her being devious. Whereas Kitana's not quite on that same level.
It's also because Kitana wants to live out her dream of what she only got in the Battle of the Realms movie, which is to be General Kitana. And she can't be General Kitana if she's the queen.
General Kitana.
Also, I thought of a funny joke, you guys. Can you imagine, like, Sindel is sitting with Jarek, or even just Sindel, but it's funnier if Jarek's there, and Kitana and Mileena are just there. Jared. You're right, Jared.
Jared. Guy.
Cut it out.
Jared's the one you want to replace Kano with.
It'd just be so funny.
It is a funny thought, though.
I don't even like Jarek. I hate him, in fact. But go ahead.
It's a funny idea that Jarek falls off a cliff after Sonya sidesteps him. He falls through a portal, ends up in Edenia, and Sindel's like, he kind of bad, though.
And like, she give me a sign. I'm still grieving the loss of Jared. Give me a sign. What should I do next? Portal opens. Just falls next to her. Sold, and she just like marries him because it's like a sign that Jarek just shows up. Very
no, you had a joke?
Here's the joke, though. Sindel is asked to choose who's going to be queen next, right? And she's sitting there, looks at Kitana, looks at Mileena, looks at Kitana. I choose you because your outfit's closer to purple. Go for it, Mileena. And she's like, okay. Let's go!
I appreciate that. I appreciate Kitana and Milena's outfits being quite similar this time, which we don't really get that often anymore. Like the last time would have been. I think the last time it would have been like Deception, where in the endings Kitana wore the exact same costume as Mileena but in blue. But that wasn't in the actual game.
That's true. Yeah. And their main designs are always very different. It's like always the classic design that make them look the same. They're playing up the fact that like I think they're doing like the whole twin sisters thing, and also like it seems like Kitana might be sometimes will be like, oh Mileena, you're acting up. I need to replace you. I need to like make myself look like Mileena in a sort of way or something like that.
Oh shit!
Like it does feel like a continuation of the whole where they tried to emphasize in the previous three games. Well, three, I guess, that Mileena is like a sexy monster, so that's the kind of the vibe they've gone for with their designs. Whereas Kitana tends to be a bit more like the princess assassin type look. And then now it's like, well, because both are princesses, Mileena's not a sexy monster yet. They're trying to. She'll get a sexy monster skin for sure, but for now it's like the two outfits are their outfits are very similar because they're in a very similar position right now.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I actually think out of all the characters currently that we've seen, I do think Kitana, Mileena, and even Liu Kang are probably my favorite in design currently. I just think Kitana and Mileena just look like a Kitana and Mileena would look if you made a new version of them, which I think is great. I think, I like them. I think this is pretty good.
I like how you can only see it briefly, but like the background for what I guess is the character select screen before it like transitions into the actual stage, which is cool. Like it just transitions from character select right into the arena.
Seamless transition is great. Yeah.
The background, you see a statue of two dragons, which I guess is like a Liu Kang thing now because he's got the twin dragons.
Oh yeah. Wait, what is this stage? I don't think the stage has been shown yet. This twin dragon stage yet.
I imagine it's just for the main menu or character select.
Well, no, because once you pick your stage, the stage in the background would change with it too.
Yeah, but this is before that. So I imagine
the default the default like fall.
Oh, when
trees,
they clash,
right?
do they then like?
That's when it transitions. It's like if an MKX, if you chose like, I want to have the Lin Kuei ones. You got the Lin Kuei background, and then during character select, it would transition into the refugee camp or whatever. I imagine it's like that.
The menu is this stage, and then once you keep playing it, the background like change to it. Yeah. So yeah, I see that. Probably not a stage though.
I'm happy we have an Edenia stage. Been a while since we've had one of those, and it looks very pretty.
Outworld? Just kidding.
I'm very happy.
I think we can bet at least this one is Edenia. At least this one. Yeah. So the game's doing really good on the stage front. Like it's definitely having a good selection of stages that look really pretty.
That's one of my biggest compliments I feel like I can give to this trailer and currently is the stages.
I try not to give out praise for visuals and stuff because, well, of course, it's going to look pretty. Like this is a AAA video game, of course it is. But it looks really fucking pretty. Like the art direction, is spot on, and like the technology is clearly bringing out like the best here. And like you can really see, like the shadows here are really good. Like the shadows from like the ornaments and stuff above. And like the detail in like a background, little flower petals and stuff. You got the detail on the characters, the individual toes. It's
you had to say that. You had that ending part.
You got the random guards in the background.
Yep, random guards.
When I was looking at these stages, because I just got through MK9 and I love analyzing the funny Easter eggs on that stage and stuff like that. This is also because I watched your video, Snake, of your MK9 critique. You didn't mention being like, some of these stages seem so impractical. It's like you're fighting on the Deadpool on like, you're literally next to like these like green acids. You're on the pit. It's like, you can just literally drop down and stuff like that. But like in these new stages, it's like, you can see like layers behind layers of things in the background. It's like, okay, behind this building, there's more grass, there's more buildings, there's more people, and just keeps going on and on and on. And that's insane. It's like, it's so cool like that. In the Realm cast, I think they said before, they're like, I want adventure back there, basically. Let me run around there and stuff like that.
You can tell the Boundary Break is going to have a field day with this game when it comes out.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good episode. Yeah. But with this place with all these seats behind, I wonder, is this some kind of Senate kind of location? Where like a bunch of like Edenian people would be, or could it be a wedding reception for Kitana and somebody?
In that Sindel post you mentioned, that is actually the stage, but like from the intro angle. You see the intro angle, then you see Sindel, and the other side you see Mileena sitting there. So I think something like that. I think
can you post a screenshot of that?
It's actually a deleted video because they didn't want to have it on. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh.
It's a deleted video.
It could have been in what I saw then, that like hidden screening.
Well, while you try and find it, what do we think of Goro's new design?
That's what I was about to say too. The elephant in the room.
He looks a bit overcooked.
Yeah, I generally don't like Goro wearing armor. I don't like him wearing pants. Honestly, looking at the pants and that, you know what it reminds me of? Most of the alternate skins for the Ninja Turtles in Injustice 2.
He looks like very Ninja Turtle.
Weird pants.
He looks kind of green. You're right. He's a weird shade of green.
Well, and then like they've coloured him to be like the original movie version. Like that's clearly the inspiration for this take.
Yeah.
But it's also just weirdly not that tall.
He's very scaled down. That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, that's why I even joked in my reaction, like it could just be a regular Shokan and not even Goro because he's so small.
Honestly, I would prefer that.
And everybody else is wearing their classic design. So looking back on it, I was like, why is Goro not just wearing his Speedo?
So
and just
why is Goro not a stop motion? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, good point. Sonic with the real questions.
Come on. The Spider-Man games, they can do the Spider-Verse weird frame rate thing as an effect. Why can't Goro just come in like a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic? Like he's gonna fucking jump scare you.
They really want that goofiness, that like classicness. I really would love to see that.
Bring back his stupid move where he picks you up and goes, and just beats your chest.
You know Goro's, you make Goro like that. You know what his fatality is? If he's gonna like that, he just walks towards you and then camera's cut to the ground, the character gets slammed on the back and it's like fatality. Because you never see him throw anyone in that film. It's always just a shot of the ground because they couldn't do it because it's an animatronic.
That's funny.
It's just like,
that's a good point.
I'm still trying to find a trailer, but also I would like to send this right here because this Goro, in my opinion, I'll say this. I'll be controversial here. I think this Goro design is like the worst thing about this whole trailer. In my opinion, it's like that's Goro.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, I think I could agree
looks
on
like?
that.
You want to know what he looks like? He looks like one of the little like soldiers from the Aftermath. Like,
oh no, you
campaign.
guys!
He literally looks like those guys.
I noticed something, guys. His outfit might be a spoiler. It looks like Reiko.
It kind of does.
He has the exact same shoulder pauldrons as like Reiko, and he has the red and black with white.
So you think Reiko's going to replace Shao Kahn in this timeline and like take over Outworld, and Goro's going to be his
Mileena marries Reiko, or she forces Kitana to marry Reiko.
And Goro combination character.
Fusion dance.
Like a fusion of these two weird.
I'm just saying, it's totally Reiko's pauldron.
Ray Goro.
Ray Goro. Created in Shang Tsung's flesh pits.
But yeah, I just think, like, come on now. Like, literally, he was, like, the buffest thing, like a big macho man in MK9. MKX, he got slimmed down a bit, but understandable, he's playable. And then now he's, like... I think Shiva's more threatening than what he looks right now.
Shiva's always more threatening. Because she gives me arousal, which is a bad thing.
Honestly, I think because Goro's been scaled down so much, I feel like that's probably a sign he's going to be playable. Because if he was just going to be a cameo character, there's no reason he can't. There's no reason he can't just come in like a big monster man. But this is for the sake of the big cinematic animations, where the character needs to be roughly similar. So it probably will be playable. But you can still make the cameo version bigger. Like you can still do that, guys. Come on, make him just a big buff man, and your playable version is.
There actually is a gameplay reason why they couldn't make him too big, but I'll save that for the gameplay part we talk about. Sure. Well, I meant the new design could also hint him being a playable character, because if he wasn't, they would just go with the MK1 Goro, but they have like a fully redesigned costume.
True, but yeah, like that is a weird thing though, because it's like they said we want to go back to the classic, and it's like we've never seen Goro wear this before. This is like completely new.
It's like putting clothes on Chewbacca. Damn it, it's a sin. But anyway, move on.
Indeed, Goro needs to be naked and chunky.
So then after that, we're back at the tea house for the daytime version.
Oh my god,
yes.
Even halfway.
Raiden's more complete costume.
Yeah, I was going to mention before actually that this is the same location from the original trailer when Scorpion Sub-Zero show up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Literally in the intro you can click day or night. This is the tea house. I forgot whose name was in the front. It starts in an F.
It's just called the tea house when you pick it, though. In gameplay, it's the tea house.
Yeah. The announcer says tea house, but there's a full name for. I'll look at your own video for you in just a second.
I thought it was the ramen house when I first saw like the background in like some gameplay. Then I'm like, oh, it's a tea house.
Interestingly enough, though, a tea house, a chalo, is a restaurant. So technically speaking, it's like there's a bunch of food in there. There's like the fried shrimp and the beef. I read the Chinese on there, and that's what they all say. So it's more of a restaurant, but it's called a tea house, basically.
Then we get the MK2 Kung Lao with his head shaved again. Give him his mullet. You did it in MKX. There's no reason not to do it.
No.
Cowards. Yeah.
You can just see that.
It looks like it looks very classic, but I mean like without the like you just mentioned.
He does have a mullet. Oh, it's just like a small ponytail. But it's like looks so tight that it looks like it's shaved.
Don't be so toxic all the time, Snake. They do care.
I swear, you're like Cinema Sins, just looking for problems, just looking for mistakes. Cynical Snake.
Okay, here's the full name of it: Feng Zhang Tea House. So I don't know who this Feng Zhang person is, so that's why I was kind of interested.
It's probably just like a town.
DLC.
Maybe.
That's the town where it takes place near the Wuxi Academy. A bit of world building.
Come on. Then we see the living forest, which couldn't tell it was a living forest until you pointed out to me, Snake. It's like that's a living forest. I'm like, oh yeah, those are the trees. And then Striker comes out.
It's interesting seeing that one tree on the right that has two faces.
Oh, two faces.
They've never done that before.
It's a Siamese tree.
I think it's funny Striker coming in with his flashlight the flashlight and the taser, because that's what he did for his X-ray in MK9.
Yeah,
they're just taking out the baton strike, which is good because Striker was one of the like two characters with 3 hits in his X-ray.
Yeah, and he does 3 hits.
And then for MKX and 11, that became the standard 3 hits. But like, so they're basically taking one of those out to make it shorter. It's like, this is what the X-ray should have been. Just flash them and then zap them, and that's it.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a throw, or do you think it's like a command grab?
No, it's a throw. So the way that the cameo throws work in MK1 is every forward throw is your cameo throw. The back throw is your character's unique throw. So if you want to just do your own character, a back throw is like Kenshi throwing you and he stabs you with a sword. If you do a forward throw with Kenshi, he always pushes you and the cameo comes in. That's just how it works.
I didn't notice this, but I think I can go back and rewatch it, but I'll just ask you. When the cameo is on cooldown, if you forward throw, you just push them, right?
I think, I didn't notice anything different. I think the throw's the same no matter what.
Said.
I mean, they could be right.
Like...
But that'd be a really annoying nerf to like get your throw taken away just because your cameo guy's on cooldown. But it's very possible.
You literally see sometimes when they throw, they'll just only like push them, and that's it. That's all they do.
They didn't
I think that's literally what they said.
They didn't break the throw.
I don't think so. It's just like they just push it forward.
I mean, yeah, maybe
you
so.
can look into this. You can look into this because
did
I saw
they meter burn the throw?
Because
MKX had like the meter burn throw where you just like shove them in place. So it could be a callback to the MKX throw.
Well, the reason I remember this is because it happened a couple of times. I noticed this weird ass just forward throw, and it didn't seem like it's tech. Like when it's tech, they'll probably like flash it, but like ding ding, like oh yeah.
Well, and also you're right because the throw techs are really cool. Like every character has their own unique throw tech now. They don't just push you away. It's like their own unique like animation. So Kitana will legit step back and do a fan wind blow at you, like knock you back with her tech. It's pretty sick.
Oh, I like that.
Like
that's cool.
Every character's throw tech is unique to them, which is a ridiculous amount of effort, honestly.
That's great.
I think it'd be cool if they had like special throws and stuff when you have certain pairs of characters, like in Dead or Alive, where the characters have like special team throws.
Want that? But they've deconfirmed that many times already. They're like,
they
each have their own fatalities, they each have their own throws, they would join in your fatals, but they would do the same thing. It's not, there is no team throws or like specific character special animations. They've specified that. Yeah,
it's one of the weird things about the game actually, because like you guys have seen what the classic tower looks like, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's basically like the MKX one, but you've got both characters in there. So you have like both characters, including the Kameo fighter, so you can see it in advance who the Kameo will be. But it's just weird that it's like the game is built around the Kameo system. Every fight, there are probably no 1v1s at all. So everything's built around using the cameos. Yeah. And it's like, why is the game designed like a tag team game when there's no tag team mode?
It's much more of an assist game, essentially.
Yeah, but it's not just the assist is there; it's like a mandatory thing. You have to have it, and you make a big deal out of the assists and all that. And it's like, why not just make Mortal Kombat tag tournament?
Well, you know the answer. It's because they wanted to include a lot of characters. They wanted to include like as many as possible, and it's easier to include more characters if it's cameo. I agree. Your idea is better though. If we could have like a 50 roster tag team like Tekken Tag 2. Be sick.
Yeah,
but
this bigger roster is more fun.
They could at least build up to that if they're like, okay, so we've got this cameo thing in place. Some of that will carry over into the tag thing. Then we'll have the next game. Johnny Cage in the next game is going to play the same as he does in this one with some new moves. We're not going to completely revamp every character every time anymore. And then you can have a sizable roster, like 2 or 3 games down the line, and then you can do a tag tournament game that has everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it,
if there's any intellects at NetherRealm, they'll do something like that rather than we're going to revamp it every time so that we can't reuse old content.
I mean,
so
we already started reusing MK11
so then we can never do a big celebration. It's bullshit.
The thing about the cameo system, I remember there was an interview that came out recently where they asked Ed Boon, why not do tag team? And his response legit was just, well, people didn't do that a lot in MK9. They just play solo. So we just thought, well, we got to revamp it. And like I think some people were saying like because 2 health bars took too long and like there's a lot of gimmicks you can do with that, which is why not too many people played it, but people still loved it a lot. At least in general.
Surely if 2 health bars are too long, you just make it 1 round. Like it's not difficult.
People are saying like there are many ways to fix it.
Stop it.
And there's so many games out there that have tag team too. It's like
our lords
Dragon Ball Fighters has it.
You're all dumb. NetherRealm knows the way.
Wait a second. Is that a paid NetherRealm sponsor person here? Get him! Get him!
What if it is, huh? What if fuck you, huh?
He's trying to correct the timeline while Snake is trying to corrupt it right now. He's guiding it the right way.
I mean, he got a chance to play the game early. He's been bought off by NetherRealm. He's a shill now.
Oh, that's true.
This man does not have your best interests at heart, audience. He has his own interests. He wants to keep the gravy train coming in with WB and NetherRealm.
This is the company.
I've always been selfish and all about myself. I only founded this podcast to further my own reach. and leech off your audiences. It's always been about me. What are you talking about, Snake?
50% of my audience has come from Underdog. I looked at my statistics. He's true. Everyone in chat, spam silent brand. Use the silent brand thing on a Underdog.
We gotta start doing these live, man. We got the chat going nuts right now. If we did like an actual live stream. Oh shit!
Can we get some? Can we get some Fs in the chat for True Underdog?
You're shooting at me. Look at my screen. You're pointing at me. I'll point you at dog. I'll point you at dog.
Fine.
Hey, I'll have you know that I have a bulletproof patch the exact size of a bullet somewhere on my body. And if you shoot it, I'll be unharmed. And it'll be really funny.
Can you survive this?
What is this, Hollywood? Says Johnny Cage.
I can try to hide behind the jury statue behind me.
Speaking of the Kameo Fighter shenanigans, one thing I do think that's a little too bad, at least from the current roster slides, because they showed that roster already. And I'm really concerned about one thing, which was last time I mentioned, I'm like, you want to make Kameo Fighters a lot more appealing. Well, for one, like the bare minimum of assist is an attack, and that's it. You can go on an attack and a breaker. That'd be awesome. But the cameos here have 3 attacks, 1 breaker, 1 grab, fatal, and fatality. So that's a lot more than the average. So that's not too shabby. But it still is a bit like you're a Kameo fighter, you're not a fighter, kind of a feeling towards it. But the bigger deal about this is, well, there's a lot less effort when the Kameo fighters, so there should be more. But you've seen the roster size, at least right now, and it feels like, well, I can show you over here, like some nice people over at the Realmcast did this. The roster currently looks like there's 24, and the cameos feel like there's only 16. Of course, DLC could come later on, but like, I wish the cameos were more than the base roster.
They did confirm that they are going to do DLC Kameo Fighters.
Yes, they confirmed that.
But one thing that is concerning is the fact that normal characters are in the Kameo Fighter list as well.
Yes.
Which means that there's even less cameo options. I mean, right here, what we've got already like 3 out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 8 characters. So almost half of them are just characters that are already in the game. And then that's just what we know for sure. I mean, I'm sure Striker won't be on the roster, but Sonya, Kano, and Jax, I can't imagine we're going to leave all them out, plus Goro, who gets a new design. So I'm sure that some of those characters are going to be in the base roster as well.
True. I kind of forgot like who mentioned Scorpion was a Kameo fighter, because they didn't show that, but I don't remember actually Scorpion being a Kameo fighter.
Ed Boon said that you could do Sub-Zero with Sub-Zero, and then he said in the same thing for Scorpion. So
okay, that's why. Gotcha. You have the epic battle between like Scorpion and like Sub-Zero be like, I summon myself, not even Kuai Liang, myself to go up against you. I don't think there's too much more to talk about in the trailer, because after that it's just fatality. Unless you guys want to talk about that.
I like the next area, which is the one with the festivals going on in Outworld.
I want to see really more of that festival. It looks so good. I want to see more.
How do you know it's Outworld?
Is it confirmed it's Outworld?
I'm just curious. I mean, it's probably right, but I'm just wondering.
It's got a purple sky, and the mountains are very Outworld, wasteland kind of environment, so I'm pretty sure it's Outworld.
True, but the issue is, why would they have a lantern festival? But a lantern festival is a very Chinese like culture thing. That's why I'm thinking, like, why would they have that in other realms when this is a very
well, here's the thing: is the only confirmed god so far is Liu Kang. Could it be that Liu Kang is the only god in this setting, and all the realms worship him, and so they have festivals in his honor, and because he's Chinese, it takes the form of a Chinese lantern festival.
Yeah, could be.
It's Liu Kang Day! Hooray! We all get a day off.
You're not thinking deep enough. It turns out that this realm that they're fighting in has the god of fireworks.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, you laugh. It's all fun and games until he shoves one right up your butt and then sets it off.
Fireworks.
And then you fly into the air with a rocket in your butt, and then it blows up. Yeah. You'd be in pain and look really stupid.
You actually mentioned something, funny segue. There currently have not been any new characters in. I mean, like original created characters. These are all returning characters. Do you think the full roster is going to be that? Just completely all returning characters?
No, I'm sure we'll have at least one new character. Probably the final boss will be a new character. We can't just... We've done it before. I know like MK9 had no new characters. Well, other than like guests and stuff. And DLC.
Cyber Sub-Zero kinda, and then Scarlet. That's it.
That doesn't count. How dare you? You offend me.
Well, Scarlet counts, right? Scarlet's literally in the story mode too. You can see her in the background.
Yeah, but she was DLC.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you're right too. I think only like probably one. At least one. I would assume something that ties the plot together.
As for the DLC, I'm sure the DLC will all be older characters returning. I'm sure we won't see any originals in the DLC. I mean, that's how 11 worked. There were no brand new characters other than the guests, which is kind of how NetherRealm does things now.
Good news is no Devora so far.
That's the important thing. Gotta make sure if there's Devora in there or not. Well, actually, I've only got one last story thing to mention, and it's the exclusive info that I've been building up for like the past 2 days because Snake brought me down into this rabbit hole. But
I do want to make
about this part.
One quick acknowledgement is that in the fatalities, we do see Scorpion using his spear, well, 2 spears. So he does have that. Why he's not using it in normally in the gameplay, I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. Because like, why give him a Kusarigami when he can do the same stuff with his normal weapon? Kung Lao is using his hat in the fatality, so he does use it.
It could be Snake. That Kusarigiri is just a gear piece change.
In the Outworld part, you can actually see him have like this new hat in the Outworld part.
Yeah, you do. He has a new hat. He never throws it, but he is wearing that new hat. Yeah.
What if what if the straw hat that he ineffectually throws at Sub-Zero? What if he has that on that costume during gameplay normally, even when he does his fatality? So he throws it, and now it's a fatality, and it's just cosmetic. It slices through your head.
That'd be funny. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, I did it again! Son of a gun!
Snake, you're so mean. You're so mean, Snake.
Oh, no. My only reaction sound. I gotta find a new one.
This is the thing I wanted to bring up at the end. Not the exclusive thing, but like the elephant in the room thing, because I've noticed a lot of people were talking about this when the trailer first came out. How are we feeling about the designs in general? Like, how do you guys feel about like their looks and stuff like that?
They look a little better, I think, than when we first saw them in the initial trailer. We've got a better look at them in like better lighting and like full body and such. I think generally the designs are fine. I think Kung Lao's is really good, a really good blend of MK2 and MKX. I just wish the ponytail was longer. But yeah, even that initial outfit works really well. Kenshi's new outfit, other than the Shaolin, the Shaolin one is a little bland, but like that's just whatever. It's just a story thing. Who cares? Whereas like the other two are really solid. I think Scorpion Sub-Zero still look a bit basic. Yeah. And also people like that.
They're brothers. They have to match.
Fuck off.
Too late.
I don't like the way any of the Kameo Fighters look. I think every single one of them looks awful.
Oh, okay.
MK3 Sonya.
MK3
Sonya looks fine. The other characters kind of just suffer from the whole thing where a lot of these costumes were designed so they could dress people in them. But when when in an era we have greater freedom, they just look really lame by comparison. So I think they all just look kind of bad. I'd rather they've dipped into like, okay, so if Sony's going to have 2 classic costumes, do they both need to be from the classic era? Can we not have like the Deadly Alliance one or the Shaolin Monks one in place of like MK1?
We'll see. Anything's
possible. Can Kano not have his Deadly Alliance outfit? No, like the 3D era had some of the best designs these characters ever had, and they're constantly getting shafted because people only care about the first 3, maybe 4 games.
I think the people care. I think NetherRealm just likes the other games more.
I hope they go further this time because Ed Boon is like, we're gonna go into territory that you guys are gonna be like, who? What? I forgot the freaking word. Obscure territory.
Yeah. Watch the most obscure he comes up with be like a character who was in like MK4. Like, oh, Jarek, how obscure is that guy? Because he's not been in the game since 2006.
I mean, that kind of is obscure, actually.
I think pretty obscure. Imagine like No Face cameo.
Yeah.
Let's go. Flamethrower
that's the obscure shit.
Tentacle, grenade.
No Face,
How about
Tasia.
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Tasia. I couldn't think of her. The weird Kitana girl that like everyone forgets about. Yeah.
Kia and Jataka.
Goodness gracious.
Wu Lei from Armageddon.
Nice.
Freaking the mythology girls, except for Serena.
Yeah, mythology girls.
Serena should be on the roster. Bo.
Yeah, I meant the other ones.
You need Bo. You have to have Big Bo.
Who's Big Bo?
Just vomits on you.
But in the Malibu comics, Liu Kang's bodyguard.
I thought you meant Bill Raicho. My bad.
But wait, but him too.
Giving Liu Kang a bodyguard feels like putting armor on Superman.
Because Liu Kang wins the tournament, even though he doesn't really. But then so Johnny's like, well, if people are going to target him, I'm going to hire this big, cool black dude to protect him. It's just this dude in a suit. He looks like the government operative from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah,
he kind of looks like him.
Bubbles.
Yeah, he kind of looks like him. So it's like, imagine that guy just tailing Liu Kang, and like he becomes like a main part of the crew. Like he's in the Outworld tournament at the end of the comic.
Big Bo is so obscure that I can't even find him in Google Images.
Bubbles, yeah. That's a fun character in my opinion.
Trust me, that guy's the shit. We all know this guy right here is going to be one of the Kameo Fighters, Cole Young. We know he's going to be a cameo. Like that's going to happen.
Did you guys see his tweet already? Like, I think Lewis Tan literally was like, sees the trailer and he retweets and be like, this game, he pumped up to get ready or something like that. He literally tweeted that recently. I must say my concern about this currently is that...
All right, who broke the law? I hear the cop cars. Who did it?
Sorry about that. That'll be me. Yeah, he's driving past.
They found your lolly collection, and now you're going to jail.
Do you think I'm the kind of guy who has a lolly collection? Dog.
Yes.
Really? Out of all three of us, I have the lolly collection. I have them. Really? I'm not insinuating anything.
So, I mean, what do you mean by that?
I mean, aren't ages of consent generally lower in Asia?
No, not in our country. Not in our country. Don't put
like,
us in that conversation.
No.
Not in our country. No, do not put us in that conversation. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. Big elephant in the room that I keep hearing people talk about is they got one part of the stands being like, this is a perfect trailer. I love everything. I cried 3 times. I watched it 300 times. And you get the other part of people being like, this looks like a mobile game. These characters look like Fortnite characters. I've heard people say things like that. Not that bad. But I kind of agree. Some of the faces do look clean, very bland in a sort of way. Young in that kind of way. It kind of takes.
I do not like Johnny Cage's face. He's not ugly. I just don't like Johnny Cage's face. It's very square. Yeah. Very Minecrafty.
He looks older than he's supposed to be to me. Like it looks like oh, this is Johnny. Like if you gave him like the grey on his temples, it'd be like, oh, this is him after MK11. Yeah, I could buy that. But it's like 30 years younger.
I think that MK11's young Johnny Cage like hit the nail so well that it's kind of hard to like top that.
Yeah, it's like you compare how they look in MK11 in this game. They look a lot better. In MK11, their design and stuff like that.
Oh, better in 11, you said?
I mean, their looks. I think they look better. Their faces and stuff like that. And of course, X and 9 are like different engines and different art styles, so I can understand that. One thing that what I've heard from people saying is that perhaps it's not finished yet, and that is perhaps a possibility. And I think really they're not finished after like what games coming out in 3 months, and it's like they did that before. That's what it was in MK11 too. They had like unfinished like MK11 footage for games and stuff like that, but then it got more polished later on.
That damn leaked roster didn't have half the stuff on the characters' faces.
I mean, there's one character they literally had in the trailer, and every single person I remember was like, "That guy looks ugly. That guy looks horrible. What the hell is that? I don't want that. You really think we're gonna play as that?" But then when the character came out, it looked a lot better. And people were like,
Injustice 2 was the coolest part about that. Injustice 2 gave like everybody an amazing glow up after the first trailer, which was kind of crazy.
But do you know who I'm talking about just then? I was talking about an MK11 character just then.
Who looked ugly, you don't want to play as them.
Garrus?
Well, I mean, the thing is, he looked bad in the trailer, but he looked a lot better when
he got Joker, yeah. Well, I mean, that's a little different. That was because they had to rush to get a Joker model made for the trailer. Because they had to rush to get it made because the Ash deal fell through. That's not really fair.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
You didn't know that lore?
That's interesting. I didn't know that they stuffed him in because of Ash.
There was even a promo for the combat pack in the game that mentioned Ash, or it was like an email that mentioned Ash, and Joker wasn't on it.
In fact,
one of my friends... Ash was very, 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 very rumored, but I didn't know Joker was immediately put there to replace him.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Joker, even Joker's... sorry, cut that part out. My friend even sent me a video where he breaks down that Joker's fatal blow, despite being very fitting for Joker because he's beating you to death with like a crowbar, and that's how he killed Jason Todd. There's an exact shot-for-shot scene of that in Evil Dead where he beats the monster to death with a 2x4, and the camera's even looking up at that exact angle, and the dirt goes on the screen just like the fatal blow. So they could have gotten so far that even the fatal blow was kind of done. Yeah, and they just kind of like rehashed it to be Joker-ish.
Yeah, in Evil Dead, when you kill the monsters, they don't die. You have to really, really, really kill them. So I think that's when. Okay, damn.
You can tell they worked a lot of this stuff like way in advance because like. There's no reason why every single intro with the Terminator would be an Arnie reference if Arnie wasn't doing the voice. Clearly, they were already writing his intros and probably recording them with the other voice actors before they got confirmation Arnie's not going to do it. We'll have someone else doing it. Because then when you got it, it's like I hear Sub-Zero's now Plane Zero, and then it's just some guy going, I've completed my mission, and it's like. That doesn't work without Arnie. It doesn't work. Nor does it work when it's just some guy saying it's not a tumor. Like clearly they work way in advance. But we're getting off topic. We're going back to the old game that no one cares about anymore. No one's going to play.
We gotta get to the current. So overall, we're gonna get into the gameplay right after this. I'm fine if this episode's a little longer than usual because it's like we're talking about always new things.
You're editing it, so as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And I want it out by tomorrow. People. Don't you laugh at me.
Appreciate what this scaly boy does for you. He puts in a lot of work. A lot of
Make sure you
hours.
send it to me. I'm gonna work on this episode tomorrow all day because like I'm getting close to finishing everything I want with the MK9 videos before I go on my vacation. So like I should have some time to edit this tomorrow. But to close the story part off, I think in my opinion the worst things, at least the most concerning things for me, are how the characters look currently. Like it's so clean, it's so bland. I hope Reptile will look much more disgusting and monstrous, and not just a human face with green paint on it. That would break my heart if that's the case. That would break
it's gonna
my
be human
heart.
Reptile. Reptile's coming down with a disease. He's got a disease that's making him look scaly. What's happening? Oh no! He was a human ninja, but he's slowly changing.
That's not give me rebirth. How dare you?
Do not give me rebirth, Reptile. How dare you? But like at least. Like I'm completely fine with human Reptile. I would love human Reptile as long as it's a disguise, because that's how he was in the past. He just takes off the disguise, and that's his lizardy look. I want that. I totally am fine with that. Because like I love to see what they do with that. I think Trinidad, I don't know if you mentioned this in your own video, but Ed Boon did hint at that Reptile because it was like someone posted the '95 design of Reptile with the mask, the mouth mask, and it's like, dude, this is such an awesome like design. I hope they bring it back. And Ed Boon retweeted that, being like, ho, wait till you'll see, or some shit like that. He retweeted him. Yeah. It wrote something. Everyone's like,
would be the perfect outfit for a Kameo fighter, wouldn't it, Sonic?
What it is the cooking up so that when the sequel to the 2021 movie comes out, they put out a costume pack that's all the MK95 movie costumes for everybody, and nothing to do with the new movie. It's just 95.
Probably, yeah.
And then we finally get the long-awaited, fan-demanded Mortal Kombat 2021 costume.
Ooh. I want the Legend costumes more, honestly, but yeah, sure.
Okay, since we're like nitpicking, by the way, I have one nitpick. I like the costumes, actually, they're fine to me, and I love like the crazy bright colors because it reminds me of like the older games when they had like ridiculously bright colors. But I will say, something about Kitana's default idle stance bothers me in the same way that her MKX idle stance bothered me, because she got that lumbar rhidosis. No, that too, but she has that lumbar rhidosis. I don't know if y'all like know the Sniper Wolf meme. But like some women have like a spine curvature, which is typically actually very hot when they're standing upright because it makes their butt pop out, but their spine's a bit more angled at the base towards their pelvis.
Widowmaker, right?
But with Kitana, because she's leaning forward in a fighting stance, she's like this, like, and she walks.
Well, there's our thumbnail.
Ah shit! Oh fuck! I almost fell. Okay, but yeah.
Oh gosh, careful.
And in MK1, she still has that lumbar rhidosis, and I'm like, no, they kind of got rid of that in 11, and I liked her just like default standing there with the fan out and like walking towards you. Now her back is arched out again, and she's just got that dumpy poking out, and I'm like, oh
it's
no.
Like they're probably like you won't notice it because of the angle. You're never gonna see the back part of this character, the angles. So like you can do really weird poses and stuff like that.
Even doing her jumping animation, it's still like popped out a little bit, and I'm like, huh.
like I said, they can't do the feet this time, so it has to be the asses. Everything's about the asses in that game.
I do like butts.
It's the ass meta this time. Let's go. All All right, so are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for the exclusive information I've prepared for a very long time?
You have blue-balled me so many times, Sonic. Tell us.
Can we take a quick break? Because I kind of need a piss.
Take a brief break, yeah.
All right,
I want to get another cup of coffee.
So stay tuned. Also, this whole episode's going to be like keep going on until we're finished with the MK part, because I'm pretty sure people don't want to wait another week for us to talk about MK stuff. It's probably going to be too early. So yeah, longer episode this time, y'all. Guys,
well, I mean, to be fair, come on, the Mortal Kombat fans, they used to getting disappointed by this franchise.
Not from us, though.
That's just you, Snake. Only you don't like it. Not from us. It's true. You love us.
Oh, that's
what
awesome.
Podcast number is this? Like, what podcast number are we on?
20. This will be episode 20 because
the
last episode where we have the cliffhanger with the true underdog controversy is still a cliffhanger since episode 17 or something, I believe. Nice. I actually already finished that episode editing it, and I added it 21, but I don't even think that's going to be episode 21. Anyways, I'm going to get some water out, BRB.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
What?
Oh, I was in my emo phase, so I was just singing some Green Day. Where are you?
Please keep that her for the rest of the episode. It's so funny.
Just Bully Maguire
and Sonic, cut this part out. Don't have us acknowledge it at any point. Just carry on. It's like, oh yeah, carry on, and dogs just like that, and we never explain it.
Yeah, like, huh?
But we won't acknowledge it, and then when people do it, we mention it. We're just like, what you talk about? Just gaslight them into thinking they're just completely making it up.
In a Twitter argument, I claimed the dude was gaslighting, and that term really offended him. Like, he could not stand that I called him a gaslighter. And I'm like, dude, calm down.
Hope I wasn't gone for too long.
Nah.
All right.
All right.
Whoa.
All right.
I didn't know we have Bully Maguire on our stream today.
That's what you said too.
Oh, really? It's very cool.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. Do my emo songs.
To make myself food. Okay.
The planet Earth. Is he emo, that guy? I guess he is.
I don't really think so. But maybe for some people, I guess they like his songs like that. I don't know.
It reminds me of this Chris Ray Gun bit where it's like Chris Ray Gun and his friends, and they're making jokes about like emo bands making like anti-suicide songs, and it's like, don't kill you. Your parents will fucking scream and cry.
Oh no.
PG emo. PG emo.
And it kind of bops, to be honest. What they come up with is quite fun.
Chris Ray Gun makes great music. I'm really mad he no longer does that. He had some top selling like things too, as far as like a YouTuber goes. Like they did well, they blew up, and he just doesn't do it anymore. But then again, I have this conspiracy theory, and I love Chris Ray Gun, so I hate saying this. I have a conspiracy theory that boy's fucking lazy.
Oh, and that's where we're in the conspiracy theory. Because we're gonna move on to the.
Tell me the secret, Sonic, before I turn you upside down and shake you by your ankles until all the scaly porn falls out of your pockets.
Not the scaly porn. Oh. Okay. Anyways, so the.
Did you guys see?
Hey! You know what? Better than having lolly porn on me. Am I right? Bring that back.
Yeah,
Bring that back. Okay. So, should I just turn on the trailer? I'm an idiot. So, let me ask a general question about the synopsis of the story, because this is something that I don't think a lot of people really go into or talk about. What do you think the end goal of this game would be? Why do you think Liu Kang is like bringing these characters around and doing all this kind of shenanigans? What's your take on that? What do you guys think?
Well, there's clearly a threat. Like there's clearly some kind of like evil force that is, because I've mentioned this, like, well, what is he? Why is he bringing these people together? So people like the tournament. And I'm like, yeah, against who? Who is the threat? There has to be a bad guy. There has to be a reason for him to bring these guys together. It's not just bringing these fighters together and be like, oh, train in case some evil happens that might not ever come. There has to be some threat he knows about. So
indeed.
I know a lot of people poke holes in this by saying, well, it's never been done this way before with the pre-order character, but Aftermath Shang Tsung does kind of make a lot of sense. as like the last thing to like wrap things up from the last game. And people go, oh, well, Ed Boon said it's not following on from MK11. Yes, it is. Shut up. It is a sequel to 11. Why would they have fired God Liu Kang if not? He made this timeline like he was going to the end of MK11. This is a sequel to MK11. Ed just said a weird thing in a weird way. Shut your mouth.
No, Snake, you're wrong. His hair's the wrong color. It's a different Fire God Liu Kang. His hair's still black.
In the Summerfest, he literally comes on and says, so this game is basically, you guys all saw the ending of Aftermath, you know, Liu Kang becomes a god, and
he
we
did
take off
say
from
that.
There. He literally says that in the Summerfest, guys.
Yeah.
It's just up. Yeah.
I don't know why people thought that it was like, I guess what he means by it's not a continuation is like, if you like Kung Lao and MK11, forget that, because it's a new Kung Lao.
Yeah.
If you like Sub-Zero and 11, forget it, it's a new Sub-Zero. Maybe that's what he meant, and just said it in the weirdest way he could. But I love Ed Boon. He's such a cool guy, so I don't want to be mean.
It's like I said in my video, it's like another way to look at it is MK4 isn't continuing the Outworld plot from MK1, 2, and 3, but it is still a continuation of those games. It's still the same continuity. So it's like there's no time travel shenanigans, all that old shit is just gone. It's a whole new story, but it is still a continuation of what came before.
I actually know the plot if you guys want to hear it. So what's going to actually happen is it's Raiden's birthday. And Liu Kang has to get the strongest fighters to celebrate because for his birthday, Raiden wants to witness a battle royale. So we gotta get the strongest fighters.
Oh, that's
that's why Sub-Zero jumps at Kung Lao because he's practicing for when he dives off the battle bus. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Life is combat. You're eating tea. I mean, you're drinking tea. Combat time. You're at the
just
happy
like
little
Fighter
laughing forest. Combat time.
You can walk up to people and be like, thanks for the coffee and the drink. Let's fight. I'm get the fuck out of you.
It is so funny, that game.
I wouldn't play it myself, but I actually kind of really want the team to make like a Scorpion's Revenge style battle royale mode.
Oh.
Run around the island and you find another player and it's like, oh, now you have to do Mortal Kombat, and then it's just so you get to the center of the island before whatever happens, whatever like big evil force field is coming in to close in on you.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay, well, what do you think? Oh wait, no, Sonic, you're leading into your big reveal, right? So you're asking us our opinions first. So I have two things. I would like Onaga's the fan favorite, so I want Onaga to be the big bad, just because it's been so long, and we've done literally every villain except for him. We even got Shinnok to come back. You know what I mean?
Literally, both of us said it at the same time.
Blaze ain't a villain. Blaze not a villain. He's just the final boss.
Sure.
That's like saying Shinnok is misunderstood.
No, Blaze is actually like Jesus in the Mortal Kombat lore. Like he's created to die for our sins and restore balance.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end, he is still like the main goal you're going towards, and sort of like.
Yeah, but he's not bad though. I'm definitely not saying this because I'm making a video about how he's the one not evil Mortal Kombat boss. I'm definitely not.
Yeah, he's not evil, but he's still the final boss. Just like the guy from Fatal.
Yes, you're right.
No, Fatal, the King of Fighters 14.
Fine, I'm pretty sure I said villain though, and not final boss. But yeah. Or I said big bad even. Onaga's the best, but I'd totally also be down for my Hail Mary way out there theory that after Kronika was killed, the Titans are coming. Like they're pissed at Liu Kang and they're about to wage a war between Titans and Earth.
Well, you say that.
I have heard rumors.
Ed Boon did say it's not a continuation of MK11, and that would be a very big continuation of MK11 if you drop
not if you don't mention MK11.
Snake, you're supposed to be not supporting that theory, Snake. Now you're supporting it. Now that you don't want Titans, you're supporting it.
No. See, what it is I'm sticking with what Ed said, because that would be continuing the story. It'd be like MK4 would be continuing the story of MK1 to 3 if Shao Kahn was still the villain, but he's not. So bring back the Titans, a thing established in MK11. That would be continuing the story of MK11 because, like, we had one Titan, now there's a bunch of them. It's escalating that threat. No, we jump into a new thing, a new storyline. That's what's happening.
No more Titans.
So no more
then
Titans.
It's Reiko. Reiko teams up with Havoc, just like in the comics, because we know they're not above rehashing the comic stories. And then Chaos Realm is one of the villains, and that brings in maybe a couple of Order Realm characters, or just the only Order Realm character that anyone likes. You know, so maybe he just shows up as like a one playable character.
It would be incredibly based if they brought back Darius and he had the voice and likeness of Michael Jai White. Come on, you would play that character if he was Michael Jai White.
Oh yeah. I think I remember seeing some people say like,
I don't know actors' names.
What if they made him
nodding.
super like Blade, basically?
Okay, you know the guy who played Jax in Rebirth and Legacy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
He was Spawn. He was Spawn in the Spawn movie as well. that guy.
Okay.
Because he also played. I think he played Black Dynamite, and that's the kind of character that Darius is based on. So if he played that character, he'd be like, "Yo, this character is based as fuck."
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Darius back. I think he'd be cool.
It's like if they really do add Peacemaker, as people claim they are, if they do add Peacemaker to the game with John Cena's voice and likeness, because why would you ever bother putting the character in if it's not the John Cena version? Give him a Curtis Stryker costume where it's just John Cena dressed as Curtis Stryker.
That'd be very fun.
Everyone would be happy. Okay, fine. The interruptions will cease now, Sonic.
Well, I asked for your opinions about what you guys think this story will go. But
in that case,
we are almost 3 hours in. So, but there is one thing that I am very interested that you guys didn't just mention, and nor do a lot of other people online mention. But do you guys think they're going to do the Mortal Kombat tournament again?
I mean, it would be cooler to me if they did, but that's why I'm saying they're probably not going to, because NetherRealm has shown in the last 2 games, if you count Aftermath as a 3rd game, they really don't like the tournament format. They prefer the idea of people roaming around and getting into fights naturally. So,
well, do you mean are they doing it in this game, or are they going to set it up for the one after?
Well, either way, really. I would assume this game. Or else this game is going to be 2021 again, where we're going to fight before the tournament and kill off people before the tournament.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be in this game then, if I am suggesting whether or not they're doing a tournament.
Because the tournament needs a threat and a reason for the tournament to exist, and the reason for the tournament is to stop the invasions and the mergers and all that. But
yeah,
if it's just a bad guy shows up, you don't need the tournament. So right now, as far as we've seen, if there was going to be a tournament, just from the characters we've seen, the most likely thing would be either Shang Tsung comes in and takes over a realm, or Mileena goes bad and then she's the threat, which seems unlikely. I don't.
There's not enough information yet. Yeah, indeed.
I can imagine them setting up a tournament for a sequel. I don't think this game's going to do a tournament though.
Okay.
Okay. I can imagine there being a tournament in one chapter that's just for the Shaolin or the Lin Kuei or something, just a small thing that's not really important. But
so it's sort of like MK11's intro where Cassie beats her mom or something like that.
Yeah, that as a tournament. So,
out of context, that sounds so funny.
That's what you're laughing about.
Yeah. Okay. That one opening scene where Cassie beats her mom.
Could you imagine if the only reason Sonya's dead by the end of that chapter is because Cassie weakened her?
Yep.
Like Cassie kicks her in the leg too hard, so then she's limping, so she can't run away in time and gets crushed by the ball.
She had a micro fracture that finally completely fractured when she had to run. She's like, "Oh no, my prior injury!"
She starts running, and then when Revenant Liu Kang's leg explodes open, it's like that.
Yeah. Cassie, why? It's all your fault, Cassie. Feel guilty. Here's where I give the very interesting exclusive. I've said the word exclusive probably 20 times in this hard podcast already, but
Mortal Kombat exclusive.
After the Four Snakes sent me that one tweet by I forgot what the tweeter is called, but it's the X guy. He's got a lot of funny tweets and stuff like that. After he sent me that, which is basically saying that there's a Su Hao reference in the tea house. You can see a wanted poster.
Dagon's a bad guy.
Stop interrupting him.
Su Hao, Red Dragon. Dagon runs the Red Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That'd be cute if they really wanted to do that. But on the poster, I also just thought it'd be kind of fun to translate it, and it just says basically 悬赏不论死活苏浩, which is essentially just wanted dead or alive Su Hao. And I thought it'd be kind of funny to just kind of walk around and start translating whatever's in the restaurant. So you got like I said, you got the fried shrimp, you got the beef, you got there's a bathroom sign that just says Shisoten bathroom and stuff like that.
Okay.
The one that kind of interests me was, I'll just send the picture right here. Behind the fighting, as you can see, these two players are. This is the very first time we see the fighting shenanigans going on with Kung Lao and Sub-Zero. In the background, on the banner, that says 真人快打. Now, if you've seen my video in the 95 movie, I translated all the Mortal Kombat titles. That is the current Chinese title of Mortal Kombat. Why is there a banner that says Mortal Kombat in the damn tea shop? Do you think it's
because
just a
that's
reference?
their favorite item on the menu? It's like in that that terrible movie Love and Thunder, where they have like the carnival or whatever, and like there's the Infinity Stones ice cream. Yes. Yeah, it's like that.
You're making like Hitler ice cream, basically.
So I suppose the message you want to take away is, the tournament clearly exists in some form. Hence this banner.
Or do you think it's just a reference? Do you think it's just like no one reads Chinese and they're just freaking Mortal Kombat on the map?
That could be it, because that's like the kind of the boring but realistic answer. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Dead or Alive 6, there's a bit where Eleanor gives Marie Rose a file on Honoka, because she's like, you're going to go and track this girl down and find out more about her mysterious power. And the file is written in English, but the development team is Japanese. So what do they do for the English text? They didn't just write some stuff and have like the Koei Tecmo America translated. No. They went to the Koei Tecmo America press release about Bass, Tina, and Mila being added to the game and copy-pasted that into it. And that's what's in the file. It completely disconnected from Honoka, but if you don't read English, you'd be like, you wouldn't know that's what it says. But more here, especially because like a Japanese person is more likely to know English than like an English speaker is to know any Chinese language.
It's true. It's very true.
It could just be, we wanted Chinese letters. What can we have it say? What's the Chinese name for Mortal Kombat? That'd be a cool little Easter egg for like literally one Mortal Kombat YouTuber to notice.
It gets a bit thicker because I really looked into this, by the way. You see underneath that one like banner, there's like a fifth letter there. I keep thinking, what does that fifth letter say? And I actually legit went back and forth with my brother and my mom to figure it out. And we were like, oh, I think it's the word cha, which means tea. So what if this is like a Mortal Kombat like restaurant or some dumb shit like that? And then I kept looking at it, and I found out those are just the leaves. It's not a fifth letter. It took me so long to figure out that those are just the leaves. That would be so funny.
Have you seen Batman and Harley Quinn?
Like,
yeah, I have.
What is that, a movie or a show?
Yeah, an animated movie. Basically, there's a scene set in like a restaurant where all the waitresses dressed like DC superheroes, like Wonder Woman and Power Girl. I want to see a Mortal Kombat tea house like, oh, that is a waiter dressed like Scorpion. Here's a waitress dressed like Sonya Blade.
Yeah, I really wanted that word to be tea. I really did, but I looked at it for like hours. I kid you not. I went going crazy. Like, is that the word tea? Is that the word village? This is like a Mortal Kombat village, but no, it's not. It's just leaves. You can even like I 100% determined that those are just leaves, because you can also just see like the banner size. There's a gap in the top, blah blah blah. But there is one thing that I think is very important, and if NRS does like it's just a reference, it's like it doesn't affect the story at all, I will call them out on that, because there literally is a flyer underneath the TV, which is on the left side of the stage. I'm sending the picture right now, and on the flyer it says the exact same thing as the banner. It says Zhenren Kuaida, which is Mortal Kombat. It's kind of small, but you can see underneath the TV there's like 4 that says Mortal Kombat. And then underneath that, there's 2 more Chinese letters that says B-side, which literally translates to tournament. They specify Mortal Kombat tournament on a flyer, not just the Mortal Kombat brand like that banner. This has the word tournament on it, as if this universe already knows about this or something, or it's like they're promoting it or something like that. It's not just like a secretive thing that every 50 years it happens. At least, yeah, isn't that a pretty big thing right there, guys?
Well, it is worth noting that because this is, like I said, we got the name of the tea house, and it said that could just be a location. And this could just be a tea house near the Wuxi Academy, like in the same like general like village area. So it could be like just a secret made up town, and so this could just be a tea house for the Shaolin and the surrounding farmers and whatnot.
That'd be kind of cute if that is the case.
But I feel like there is some validity to, like, if there's specifically put Mortal Kombat tournament there.
Yeah, that's what it says.
I mean, I'm not sure if it would be that the whole world knows about it, though. That would be an interesting thing to delve into, because we never really all we really know about the MK world outside of the fighters is the Outworld stuff exists, and most people don't know about it until the invasion happens, and then we never really address like how that changes the world at large. So that would be fun to delve into, but. So it could be fun just to have, in this timeline, everyone just knows that Fire God Liu Kang is watching, and there's a tournament. But that does raise the question: who is the tournament against?
All I'm saying is like the story. We don't really know what's going on right now, but that's a freaking flyer that says the Mortal Kombat tournament right there in the very like beginning of the trailer. So yeah,
and you should definitely make a video about this, because no one else could do this, Sonic. Honestly, I don't know too many other YouTubers with Mortal Kombat that can translate it. So it'd be a pretty fun video topic.
I might just clip this part.
Here's a couple of issues I take, though. For one, Liu Kang is gathering fighters for the Mortal Kombat, supposedly, right? And they don't even like know about it. And Johnny Cage doesn't even know who Liu Kang is. So I don't think they're aware of like his presence. And then on top of that, not just anybody can join the Mortal Kombat tournament. They have to be picked. So it makes no sense that like there be flyers like come one, come all, because Liu Kang is gathering them. So it, like, unfortunately, it most likely is just a reference, which is rude on the developer's part.
If it is a reference, I will shit talk them.
Also, here's the problem: it's not Mortal Kombat with a K. So
you can't translate
like
that
the exact word for.
Come on.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why they put it. That's why I'm saying though, like that could be their cop out. Like it's not. It's just a different Mortal Kombat tournament. It's like an actual fisticuffs underground like tournament. It's not like Liu Kang's God tournament against like other realms. You know.
I remember I said this in my own video. The name Junin Kwaida is so dumb in translation because it just literally translates to regular person fighting or normal person fighting.
Normal combat!
Yeah, literally. It's like no sane Chinese person would name that unless if it's translating this game, this franchise. It's such a iconic thing, so everyone knows, we just call it Junin Kwaida. It's dumb, but we don't think too much about it because that's what it's called. Yeah, so if that is the case, I don't know. I really have to assume there needs to be some connection with this flyer and the story at hand, because if there isn't, like, fuck you, NetherRealm, you piece of racist shit. Don't just put that there then, jeez.
It reminds me of when I made that Mortal Kombat anime opening, which was banger. It was done super well editing-wise, but I did the lazy option of just taking green screened Japanese intros that are like already on YouTube where they have no background, so you can just add the text in. And one of my viewers was Japanese and is like, what the fuck are these credits? This makes no fucking sense. And I was like, I just threw them in, dude. I just threw them in to make it look like an anime opening. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people would do that on YouTube, or they're like, oh, daisuki, jisuki yo, and then like there's a super long sentence on the bottom or something like that, and they just said gibberish. Yeah.
And it happens both ways, because I've seen like characters in anime and manga, especially older ones, where like the character's name is like an American or English character, and his name is like a direct translation that makes no sense also, like punching guy instead of like hitman or whatever, or like killer dude. And it's like, okay, he who kills.
He who kills.
Now you've got me thinking, what would be the overly long, unnecessarily long light novel title for Mortal Kombat if it was a Japanese light novel?
I started life as a monk and reincarnated as a fire god. Now I must gather the world's strongest fighters in a new threat.
That's pretty good,
that's
actually.
Impressive.
That
whole thing, you came up with that on the fly. You were just like, boom.
Trash Taste Podcast.
Impressive.
Let's go.
I'll put the outro.
I'm also a big fan of those stupid titles. I never read any of those, but I love how their title is legit just a plot summary.
Yeah.
Of the story.
I read some of the animes of those, and I literally like, oh, what was that slime one? That's it. I don't remember what it's called.
Reincarnated as a slime.
I just typed the slime anime and I get my results.
That time I got reincarnated
that's what I
as
just
a
call
slime. It's a good anime, but it's got really weird tonal shifts, which is strange. But it's okay. Don't get off topic. Stay on topic.
I've got the two perfect ones. I just have two perfect ones I need to get out. Kung Lao's, the Kung Lao spin-off, is that time I got reincarnated as my own descendant. Because MK9's concept of reincarnation is stupid.
Very cute.
And the other one is Bihan, that time I got reincarnated as a black guy.
That's how we got reincarnated.
It's not blackface, I swear.
Oh no! That's how I got reincarnated as a black guy. Now I can say the N-word.
No.
Oh, that'd go hard. That'd go really hard for a title. Didn't they do that for like the intro dialogues? Like I meant like people make jokes in like front of Jax.
Yeah, they
do. I have the N-word ticket now? Don't you say it.
He doesn't ask. He just says, "I'm going to." He's like, "I'm going to say it." You can't. You're not actually black. Yes, I can, you stupid. It's like just like which is funny because Noob Saibot's evil in this. Like he's pure evil in 11. Like clearly, he's like generic villain guy who's like powered by evil. So he would definitely do it. He would say it. You wouldn't be allowed to do it because like developers would get in trouble for it. But he would do it.
I mean, he does.
Shao Kahn would do it too. Shao Kahn insults you in the middle of a match, says you suck. If he learned the power of the N-word, he would throw it out. Like I'm just saying,
it in the middle of
it's what I expect of a. Yeah, he'd totally do it. He'd learn every dude. Shao Kahn with slurs would be OP. He learned one for every single fighter that he's facing.
Shao Kahn slurs.
He points to Johnny Cage. Ha! Get up, you honky.
He points at Kitana. Housemaid.
Oh.
Housemaid. Oh, I'm very excited for that video to come out when people know. Like, I'll keep saying that in my video. I'll be like, oh, the housemaid did something. Oh, good job. GG housemaid. I keep saying that in my own video. It's really fun. But yeah, I just thought to give you guys an interesting little tidbit I found in the trailer is literally Mortal Kombat tournament is in the tea house, which is very bizarre. But like,
yeah.
I hope my theory is right. I hope they do something with that in the plot. And if they don't, I'll call them out on it because it's literally there.
Sonic, you really do need to make a video series just like all the Chinese stuff in Mortal Kombat. Like, here's what all the Chinese names mean. Here's what this Chinese text means.
You would blow up so fucking fast because that's how Epic Name Bro became famous.
I would love to do that. It's really hard because it's like there's not a lot of translations. It's pretty much just like mostly English. Well, I wonder if there is a Chinese version of, because like, the funniest thing is, you know what, you're actually going to be kind of motivated too. But I think most games aren't really consistent with the names too. So sometimes they might be called this in this game, and sometimes they might be like because Chinese letters are like Zhen and Kuai has 4 like characters. Some names are like only 2, like Bihan, but like sometimes they'll get to 3 for no reason. They'll be like, why is it now this? Because it sounds more like it in this game or something like that. But like in the last game, there's a little inconsistency sometimes with that too. That could be kind of fun.
And you can cover that stuff. Like, well, this changed from this game to this. Maybe this is why they did it. This name is this name real? Could this be a real name? Bihan? No, because it means cold wall. That's stupid.
Yeah, it's just stupid. Yeah, it is.
Make colder.
The hardest thing about that is getting the content, because it's like, okay, you can buy it on Steam, but some of them are very obscure, very old. It's like, how do I find those? That's the harder stuff, and sometimes even on like physical versions of it is not easy to come by. But yeah, I could consider that.
And you could also do it in reverse, Sonic, real quick. Just another idea for your content. Because like when I was taking Mandarin in college, for fun, the teacher would like take our names and do her best to make them into characters that exist. Because the characters are sounds, right? So my last name is Bo She, right? That's obviously not possible. But she did Bo Sheng.
That's nice.
And I was like, okay, that works.
Okay.
So you could do that with like Raiden. It's not Raiden, it's Raiden. You're like, how is this? What are these actual characters? If I did them like in Chinese, what's Ray and Den? Like and like what does that actually mean? Those two like characters. What does that mean?
I never
what does
really thought about
mean
that. But yeah, the word Raiden is literally Lei Dian, which is literally electricity. Lei Dian.
Oh,
that actually is the Chinese. Yeah.
Content.
I never thought of this.
And also consider a lot of the characters in Chinese and Japanese are the same. They're just pronounced differently. So if you took Fujin's characters, how is that pronounced in Chinese?
That I don't know, actually. Fojun or something. Like Su Hao was very easy. Just Su Hao. Like I actually, because of that poster I saw, I was like, oh, that's actually what his Chinese name looks like. That's interesting.
What does his name mean? Out of curiosity.
Oh, that actually just means no meaning really, in my opinion. It just actually is like a name kind of thing. Yeah.
I thought every character meant something. My bad.
Which is funny because he's not even Chinese. He's Mongolian.
Yeah,
it's true.
But I mean, the poster that's apparently his
same
Chinese
thing
name,
to Western developers, unfortunately.
But yeah, I don't want to take up all this time like talking about this, but I just thought I'd throw this Mortal Kombat thing out.
Let us know in the comments if you think Sonic should make these videos, because I think he should.
He's going to make them. It's the future.
We and the fans will bully you into making this Sonic.
I'll consider. I'll think about doing a series like this too. It does seem kind of fun. Because my current plan is the MK1 content that's coming out, of course, and maybe the sucks videos for the story mode. If it does suck or if it doesn't, we'll see. But the other secret idea I'm planning is, I don't think a lot of people are considering this, but, a full video about this, the MK game on this, see how that turns out.
Oh, MK11 on Switch. Ooh.
MK1 on the Switch.
MK1 on Switch. Oh, that'd be even worse. Ooh.
I thought it wasn't coming out on Switch for some reason.
Yes, it is. It's
okay, good.
It's coming out. For some reason, they're bringing it out on the Switch.
That's so funny because they're not even going to put it on PS4, but they'll put it on the Switch, which is going to have an even tougher time handling it.
What was it rumored? Like 100 gigabytes on the Switch?
Well, I don't even know. I don't know about that, but I just know the PS5 is like almost a PC, like with how fast it loads stuff and whatnot, and how it can handle like that kind of stuff. It just has no space, which sucks. And they kept promising an update; they'll give it more space and like add-ons, but they haven't done that yet.
You know how like with the transition from the character selection to the actual stage. It won't even do that. It'll just be like the characters will be stood there like while the background like slowly loads in, and then then it loads in like with after stuttering, and then the characters go into it, and you're like, they just been stood there for like a minute just waiting for it to load.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, I'm looking. That's one of my secret projects I'm hoping to do when the game comes out. Just like play that, record a bunch, and see what the fuck happens.
We talk about the gameplay in the next episode. Stay tuned.